Well, I'm here. But I will say I'm having a lot of scuff. So apologies everybody. My frame rates are dropping like wild. So okay, let's try this again. And I we're not gonna be doing any drawing today, M Young, but I appreciate you stopping by stream if you choose to stick around. We're actually gonna do something else. But apologies, everybody. I'm having some technical issues multi-streaming tonight. I'm assuming it's because everybody and their mother is currently on the internet wires because it's a certain lovely holiday you've observed. So we might just be kicking it on YouTube today. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can do it one more time. If not, as I've told folks before, no, I am not your fairy godmother, but you know, I do consider myself to be magical. Thank you so much for your time. Um, but what I'll do is I'm gonna try it one more time to see if we can get on Twitch. And hi, Diego, and welcome in everybody. If not, we're just gonna probably just hang out on YouTube today, and then I'll just direct folks towards that since I'm not really sure what's happening when it comes to shenanigans. So, and welcome in, Paz. I hope you're having a nice one. It's lovely to see you with everybody else. Um, let's see. Okay. But yeah, let me try one more time to see if I can like get it to go on Twitch. If not, I'll just tell folks we'll just be doing a YouTube stream. So thank you for your patience, everybody, since the wires are a bit crossed. Okay, I think we might have got this to work, maybe. Things seem to be normal now. So we'll switch back to the chatting screen and kind of give some updates in terms of things. So thank you all for your patience in terms of trying to get things moving and grooving for tonight's stream because I wasn't sure what was going on. It should now be uploading back on both YouTube and on Twitch. Apologies. Oh, nope, it's freaking out again. Ugh. All right. Let me let folks know on Twitch. We're just okay. I think I'm actually here now. So apologies, I couldn't get Twitch up tonight. So what I will probably do is just delete the VOD over on Twitch, and then for those who would actually like to watch this video, you'll just have to check it over on YouTube. So my apologies in terms of shenanigans. I will go ahead and just get this moving and grooving. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm not really sure why that's happening tonight, but I'm assuming it's because the wires are getting crossed in regards to tonight's stream. But that's okay. Sometimes things just don't work out the way they're supposed to. So it's all goody in the hoodie. And y'all know my policy. If the bit rate or my PC is not being nice to me, I'm just going to go ahead and just stream on one platform. And as folks know, YouTube is my primary home. So it doesn't mean I don't dislike, I dislike Twitch. It's just that sometimes Twitch doesn't like me. So that's okay. But let me let folks know over on socials, just to give folks a heads up. Ergo, I thought it was me for a moment. No worries. Yeah, it just, I don't know why, but it's working. Like my bit rate and stuff, which is something I try to pay attention to, is working fine. But every time I try to multi-stream on Twitch, especially on busier days, because of the way I have my thing set up in OBS, it just doesn't want to work. So I'll just be on YouTube. So I appreciate folks' patience as I try to get things going. But welcome in, everybody. Whether you're watching me morning, afternoon, or evening, whether you're watching the VOD, or whether you're lurking, because I'm a lurker-friendly streamer as always. I hope you're having a good one. Just let folks know over on social. There we go. All right. I hope folks are taking care. Like I said, and have been able to share to the point that I feel comfortable. I'm hanging in here. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background, a lot of really just unprepared things that I'm just not okay, cool. Sorry. I just got something that okay, sorry about that. Okay, I just got something. I was just checking into it. My bad. Anyway, the last few weeks have been bonkers. As folks know, without getting into too much detail, I am a scientist. If you've been paying attention to what's going on in the world, there's a lot happening. So it's been a lot. It's been challenging. I will admit it has impacted me in a lot of different ways. But I am grateful in the sense of shout out to communities, friends, and folks who are in the know about what's going on. And for folks who know me, feel free to check in with me and be a DM. You know who you are in terms of shenanigans. But it's definitely been impacting me. So I apologize for sometimes like not being on top of things, as well as just having this stuff in shenanigans. I've just been trying to take it day by day and try to plan accordingly in terms of things. But I feel like I'm not gonna lie, it's impacting me in the sense of I'm not able to do certain things that I wanted to do, and I'm having to kind of sketch out my plans a little differently this year. And it is what it is, so I'm kind of just taking it day by day, but I just want to say thank you all so much for being patient with me in terms of just the not so great plans that I have, that I etch out my plans. Y'all know I have my 3-month quarterly system, but with the things going on in the backdrop, it's been a day by day having to adjust, change, or handle some things that are just kind of outside of the bounds of my control. So that will probably be the case for a little while. So I apologize in advance. Where did my captions go? Oh no! I hope y'all can hear me, but oof. Let me see something. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to like get this thing to actually be nice to me. Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. The captions decided to conk out on me because shenanigans. But let me see if I can get them back working for a second. Yeah. Yeah, Toko, I'm just kind of like duh, but of why captions. I believed in you. I'm hoping they'll come back soon, so apologies in advance. But they usually toggle back in a second, so I'll just keep going on my spiel and then, of course, repeat it throughout tonight's stream. But yeah, for now, I will just say that there might be some chances where I might just have to adjust things at the last minute. I am trying to make sure that I keep my schedule as consistent as possible, which is essentially where you all will expect me to stream again towards the weekends. Your brain doesn't like you today. On hearts, how dare it? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's funny, which is not something for anyone to feel bad about. But I typically, I'm gonna be transparent. I don't really have the best memories associated with February, to be honest with you. I love Black History Month. Oh, there we go. Their captions are back. I love Black History Month. I do a lot of self care, but I've had tremendously awful things happen to me around Valentine's Day that to that point, Toko, like my brain is processing and not phased by anything before and after the week of Valentine's being awful. But do not, for those of you who love Valentine's Day, do not let me harp your vibe. If you're having a blast today, I wish you all the way, whether you are single, you're hitched, you're on a date, you're having fun, you're kicking it with friends, you're having a Galentine's Day or a buddy day, whatever you're doing. I just personally do not have good memories around the month of love, so I have to do a lot of self care because of it, which is so funny to me. So it's just one of those things where I have to for my own sanity because I don't know what it is about February, but I usually just have really awful things happen to me during this month historically. So I'm just like not. I'm not really phased. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not really phased right now. But to your point, Toko, I don't appreciate it. But we will do what we have to do. Um, yeah, exactly. Like to me, Valentine's Day is something that I typically celebrate for myself. It is very much a self-care type of day. Like I said, I won't go into too details out of respect for my own privacy and things like that, but I've had a lot of sore spots around this time, so I just don't really get caught up in the fervor of that aspect of it. But I do appreciate it in the sense of what it can mean, whether it's platonic love, familial love, romantic love, and all types of things. And of course, it's Black History Month, so yes. But I think also too on that same note, for the foreseeable future, things just might be a little hectic. I will try to plan out my streams ahead of time so that way if I do need to change something as you've seen me do for the last few weeks, I will do the best I can to update on YouTube and on my socials. But I will say, folks, if you can give me a little bit of patience and grace, if I do need to adjust, I would appreciate it because there's just so much going on behind the scenes that I just outside of my control. And I do have folks I'm looking out for as well as, talking to be able to make sure that they're fine, I'm okay, and a bunch of other stuff. So, all this to say, that's just kind of what it is right now. And apologies that again, sometimes my plans aren't as like I don't want to say grandiose, but I have usually a bar I set for myself for streams. I try to hit at those things and reevaluate and assess. And sometimes I just can't do that in some instances. So it makes me kind of sad because I do want to make sure in this space that I can have as much fun as a hobbyist of a streamer. But sometimes just life gets in the way and it just is what it is. So it doesn't mean I won't be able to stream. It's more so just if there's a random change where I change up the game or change up the schedule or something, that's just what it's going to be. So I just want to give folks a heads up and thank you so much for your patience and kindness ahead of time in regards to that. Because tonight we were gonna do Unicorn Overlord, but again I'm gonna switch it out, say Infinity Nikki into Unicorn Overlord on Sundays. I've just been trying to again get the wieldiness because with the unwieldiness in the background, it makes it hard for me to be able to actually be able to do the point of playing the strategy games I want to play. And Unicorn Overload requires me a little bit more strategic thinking than Final Fantasy 14 at this point because I'm so used to doing the same buttons and stuff. Not saying that healing is something I don't have to think about, but it's like I told y'all when I play games like Final Fantasy 10 or like Unicorn Overlord or even Sea of Stars, I do need the headspace to plan out to play those streams for you all in those games. Otherwise, I can very easily either get caught up and make mistakes, and I just don't want to do that as we all enjoy the story together. So, all to say, my goal is to play Unicorn Overlord on Sunday for at least an hour or two. It'll be a shorter stream, but I do want to make sure we do that. Um, yeah, no, Diego, that's totally fine. I did see it, so it was a really good work in progress. So it's really fine, and I appreciate you sharing it again as always in terms of shenanigans. So yeah, appreciate the fan art as always. Um, what else is there? But for that's why in terms of the Black History Month events, tonight is one of those. I've decided to take out the bigger event I planned and actually split it up into multiple mini events across the remainder of February. So tonight is actually going to be my book talk conversation. So for those of you who were around last year, I did talk about some of the books I want to read by Black authors, specifically in the fantasy and young adult and in that area, including me gabbing about Legendborn by Tracy Dion. So I will be doing that tonight. I'm also thinking about doing some things around some Black games that are coming out, specifically talking about South of Midnight, as well as around music in terms of some of my favorite artists. So I will split up those streams with the remainder of February instead of having a one big stream like I plan to do tomorrow, because due to some things I just need to change it up and make it a bit easier for me with the unwieldiness of my schedule. But I'm hoping folks will enjoy that in terms of really bringing the ethos of Black History Month in terms of my streams. And again, being able to prepare you all for me playing South of Midnight in April, which I still plan to do on Twitch and YouTube, as well as just, continue on the trajectory with the games I am playing right now, such as Endwalker, Dawn Trail, Infinity Nikki, and things like that. So that's kind of what's up ahead. Tonight is going to be a book talk stream. So it's essentially replacing the co-working that I was going to do, which, like y'all know, I do co-working and then talk about books or stationery and things. So that's going to continue in that cycle. And then we play a game, which is going to be Infinity Nikki tonight. Sunday's going to be Unicorn Overlord. And then either Monday and next week will probably be those music-oriented streams and other stuff towards Black History Month, because this week is Black Present. So I did want to combine my Black History and Black Present stuff today this week, and then next week do some other cool stuff in honor of Black History Month. It is February 14th, so as a thing of self-love, I did want to make sure I did a book stream because I love books as much as I do my shenanigans and everything else. No, you're fine, Diego. Your art was really good. I'm sorry you are nervous and feel devastated in terms of things. I don't know what's causing those feelings, but the art's really, really good. So I think being able to draw and do fan art for all the folks that you tagged in terms of things is really cool. So I hope, you feel a little bit better soon in terms of things. And I can't speak for everybody else who you drew fan art of, but I can always say, like I always share, I'm really grateful for folks who do fan art of me with no expectations, of course, in terms of anything. But yeah, I hope you can take care and feel a little bit better in terms of shenanigans. So yeah. But that's pretty much it. The only update I will say, and I will announce it here, is thank you all so much for your love and support. I actually got an invitation from Twitch to become a Twitch affiliate. So I'm just going to go ahead and announce that now and put it out there. That y'all did it for me in less than a week. Because for Twitch affiliate, you have to have 50 followers. I think an average of like 5 or more folks watching you. You have to stream, I think, like 4 or 5 times. I think, God, what's the word? You have to do like 4 or 5 unique streams on different days and stream for at least 8 hours. I smashed the requirements really fast to where Twitch sent me an invitation that I didn't halfway pay attention to. Not because I wasn't paying attention to, because I checked my email for streamer related things, but I saw it and I was like, oh, damn, wow. So thank you all so much. Like I said, I'm a hobbyist of a streamer, so I'm doing this for free, for fun, and I'm just trying to figure out how that'll look in terms of getting things set up, especially with some of the backdrop considerations that I needed to consider with everything. So please be patient with me as I figure that out in regards to Twitch. On the YouTube side of the house, it really won't change too much. Besides that, I'm hoping with StreamerBot, with the ways I'm looking into the emotes and things that I'm hoping to set up in channel points, that I'll be able to combine those both on YouTube and Twitch. So that way, again, you all won't need subscriptions or to pay for anything in terms of just using some of the stuff I'm going to create for both platforms. But I will figure that out over the next like month or two. It's gonna probably take me a little while with everything going on behind the scenes. But I just want to say thank you all so much anyway, because the fact that if I wanted to like stream and make a little bit of money, I could is really cool. So I am grateful for that. Even though that is not changing my thing where I said, y'all, the best thing you can do for me is just give me some of your time. I'm not aiming to make money off streaming. I'm mainly just aiming to build community and build a platform where I can just be a goofball like most other people want to do when they want to be goofballs. So yeah. But I will say too, on the YouTube side of the house as well, I'm already halfway where if I want to be a YouTube channel person to make money, I can monetize. So thank you all so much for just supporting me. I really appreciate that folks will watch me and watch the VODs and be a dork and follow me, because that's the thing. So yeah. I don't know if it's okay with chat, but I had a drawing of you with Sasha, and I hope to share it. Like, my recent drawing of you is a prototype of a mod. No, that's super cool. Yeah, like I say, Diego, if you want to share it in the Discord, which I saw that you posted it, I think a few of the other ones you've done, please feel free to do so. But yeah, no, I don't think that's a problem to share on there or on socials and tag me too. Like I said, as long as it's appropriate and safe for work in terms of things like that, I don't have an issue in regards. But please let me know if that's not the case in terms of what you're saying right now. I'm not, like I said, I'm trying to make sure I'm being respectful to you and everybody else in chat as always in terms of shenanigans. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm growing as a streamer, so it's lit. Especially to me, I'm gonna consider myself a baby streamer until I'm like 5 years in. Which, if y'all are thinking I didn't think that far ahead, then you would be wrong, because I don't do things lightly. I might take a break from things and not do it as consistently, but I'm somebody who doesn't go into hobbies. I'm very intentional with my time. So all it is to say, I will consider myself a baby streamer until I'm like years in, and since I've only been doing this for a year and a half, I am just really grateful for any and all progress. I don't really get caught up in comparing myself to anybody. It's more of just knowing that I'm doing better than what I thought I could and being better over time. Which, when I've seen clips of my older streams and things like that, I'm just really proud of the progress I've made and some of the assets and things that we've been able to do. And the community I've built with folks who are fellow streamers, it's been a lot of fun to just really enjoy people's time with me and really just build community in that way. And to even be able to multi-stream now is really, really cool. I know someone on like Twitter like was being mean, being like, "Oh, that's not a big accomplishment." To me, it is though. So I'm always gonna be proud of those little things, which is why thank you, Toko. I appreciate that. Thank you all for being so supportive and thoughtful. And of course, for folks who've just been around since the beginning, you've just seen, and I hope you've seen the evolution of my schema of what I'm going to do as a streamer. And yeah, it's just been lit to kind of see things. And for those of you who do want to stream, or if you have similar ambitions as a hobbyist, or whatever you want to do, just know you can do it. Don't get caught up. Just go ahead and just stream. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Because I'm a goofball and I've made so many mistakes, but I've learned so much in the last year and a half that's really helped me navigate some of the stuff I'm dealing with behind the scenes in streaming, of just knowing you're always going to grow and you're just going to do what you got to do. But okay, enough about that. That's pretty much all I have in terms of updates right now. The meat of today is to talk about books. So now I'm going to be a dork to tell y'all about my favorite books. And for those of you who were here the last time, last year, some of this is going to be very familiar to you, so I'm not trying to like regurgitate it completely, but I did show some new books and want to talk about some other dope like things about Black authors. So if you love books and fiction, be hype. It's gonna be lit, because I'm gonna talk about all that tonight. And then we're gonna play Infinity Nikki, because I love dress up in Lolita fashion, and that's never gonna change about me. So I'm in this form tonight because I can't like tell y'all about the books and flash my PowerPoints and stuff at the same time without something going wrong, as you see with the tech shenanigans. So I hope folks enjoy what I'm about to spiel about for the next like 30 minutes to an hour. And for those of you who are listening in or watching the VOD, I encourage you, if you want to like, I'll be talking a lot more, so if you want to body double, do some things, laundry, or just zone out to what I'm saying, it's totally cool. Like I said, I'm a lurker-friendly streamer, so if you don't want to say anything, but you just want to watch me, that's totally cool too. For those of you watching the VOD, I appreciate you. I hope that if you get any good recommendations for books, that you check them out. And if you have any recommendations for other authors that you want to read as well, please let me know, especially if you're a friend or mutual, because I will read a book. I'll get to it. I can't promise it'll be soon, because I have books I have been reading for a year or two now, but I will get to them eventually. We will make it happen. But anyway, enough about that. Now for the magic. I am on the wrong slide. My bad. But that's okay. Let me actually start it on the first slide. So again, for those of you who don't know, as a streamer, like I said, I am a hobbyist of a streamer, which means a lot of my streams are dedicated to some of the things I love to do. I do have my boundaries and things like that, so obviously I try to balance between showing you all what I'm interested in and also carving out spaces for myself to enjoy my hobbies. And so, dang it, Toko, you right though. I feel like every bookworm, shout out to those of you, I love you, my people, says that, and I'm not gonna deny what Toko's saying in the chat. That is a problem that most of us who love paper things or books will say. We'll be like, well, actually, I have these books that I'll get to eventually. And then I'll say that, and then it'll be the same book with the bookmarks in it for at least a year and a half. Which then what'll happen is I'll get the urge to read the book, and then I'll finish it in like 3 days. I don't know what to tell you. It's some compulsory thing that's hilarious. But also, low-key, you can judge me. It's totally cool. But yes, I am that bookworm girl. It's bad. It's not going to change. I will tell you, I've read books in, like, hours. It's bad. You can ask me about some of the books I read as a child. Those of you know about Celebrated Reader, that was me. As well as, like, adult me, will I'll read a book, like Divine Rivals or Legendborn in, like, freaking 48 hours and just be caught up in the stuff and then get my work on to motivate myself to finish a book in a day. Only for me to put other books on the shelf, and then I'll get to them a year later. We're just pausing to let that soak in, because I am a goofball, and again, that's just how that works in my world. But anyway, all this to say, tonight I did want to share, especially for Black History Month, I am a big fan of fantasy and magic. I am a scientist in real life. That's the whole artsy scientist stitch. And I love books. I think reading and fiction and the ability to actually immerse yourself in worlds that people have created is a big part of my love of Afrofuturism, as well as my love of books and storytelling. I do think orators or people who do speeches or writing are really cool. I'm a writer at my core, so I really do think like sharing books with you all during Black History Month, something I do want to be consistent about. I haven't been consistent about talking about the books because to Toko's point in the chat, I am a book nerd, but I still really want to remind people that one of the big things for me as a streamer is always that learning is really important, and being aware of the world around you as well as being able to dive into worlds and have imagination is super, super important. Because at the end of the day, the reason why things happen in the world around us is because people have the imagination to reimagine or imagine what's possible for not only your own future, but also for your communities and people out here. So I carry that ethos with me. With the reason why I love science is because, to me, as people say, science is magic in real life. Even though I do believe that, it's a little bit more complicated than humans think. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole because I could go on a whole spiel about metaphysics and a bunch of other things. But because of that, I did want to share some of my favorite books that I read both in the nonfiction space, books that I still have on my radar that I need to finish, or books that really mean a lot to me that I plan to read, that I really want to share with you all tonight in terms of tonight's stream. So I hope that for those of you who check out this stream, whether you're lurking, watching the VOD live, lurking, watching live, or watching the VOD, that you can take some of these stories and check them out if you would like. Or if you want to get some recommendations of some books that you can share with some friends or family or mutuals and things like that. Because I think it's just really cool that these books exist. And they don't get a lot of love because, like people say, people are like, I don't like fantasy or fiction. And I'm like, actually, there's some really dope books you can check out by Black authors who are super cool that I'm hype about because I have no chance. So I wanted to do that for today, mentioning some of the books that I talked about last year that I think are really, really great reads, particularly if you're looking about Black history, science, as well as fantasy and magic. Again, these are just recommendations based on what I personally would be interested in reading, as well as things that I've talked about before. I am not the guru or anybody's, I am not the mecca of what books you should read or not read. These are based on my own judgment, as well as some of these books might be a bit more mature given the topics. So I just want to put that caveat out there as well. And again, some people might have read these books and you might not be a fan. So if you've read them and you don't like them, you can let me know your opinion too. I'm not totally unwedged to hearing people's thoughts about books that they are not a huge fan of. But with that in mind, this is the wall of books. Again, some of you might recognize some of these books from last year. They're pretty familiar. What I tried to do was use the books from last year as well as mention some new ones that are coming out that I did want to share as well. For example, I think I'm missing one that I should have put on here, which is Oathbound. No, it's there. I see it. Sorry. I was like, did I not put Oathbound on here? But this is the wall of books. Like I said, for me, one of the big things that I really like to do is read books by a lot of different communities specifically because I do believe that I have certain worldviews and certain lived experiences that I also want to see reflected in some of the books that I read. But I also try to really read books by different types of authors from all walks of life and communities because it's really important to think about the perspectives people have and the perspectives of people that I don't have. Which is why I will tell people like my bookshelf has all types of books, books that interest me. I have everything from manga because I love shoujo, all the way to nonfiction and classical books. For example, I'm a big fan of Sherlock Holmes. So if you hear me gab on about that or the Great Expectations, don't be surprised because I really do read a little too much. I love comic books, I love fiction books, I love nonfiction books. I'll even read occasionally DC Marvel comics, depending on the topic. I'm looking at you, Storm, that just came out. I really want to read those. But these are all books that I'm going to talk about tonight, and their covers, respectively, to show and share that, yes, there are black authors. You should read black authors. You should read books by black people. Black people are really cool. I'm not saying that I'm biased. I clearly am for lots of reasons, law. But these are books that I have on my radar that I talked about last year that I've started diving into a little bit, as well as books that are coming out this year that I'm never going to shut up about. Just let you know. If you ask me about any of these books, I'm going to talk about them because I'm obnoxious like that. So, and yes, Diego, these are books. These are all books. They're all a thing. So it's lit. It's amazing. I'm really sad I can't get this to work on like Twitch because I really do want to like have this be a Twitch VOD, but it's totally fine. And maybe we can try again. I don't know. I might feel froggy and leap again in terms of getting this to work on Twitch, but we will see. We're gonna see. We're gonna try it again, y'all. If I blow up the stream because I'm being froggy, just know I tried. Let me see if it'll work. People on Twitch are gonna be like, what do you mean you're streaming on both even though you said you wouldn't? And I'll be like, this is what I mean about the chaos. Listening to audiobooks counts as reading books. Yes, thank you, Lawrence, for that point too. I am never gonna knock on anybody who does anything. That's something that I've actually been trying to get better into is to find really good audiobook versions of books that I love. But like I said, like, nope, it's dying. We're not doing it. Nope. My stream is like, we're not doing that. The frame rate was already dropping. Nope. That's why, again, just ignore the fact I tried to be on Twitch at the same time. Don't pay attention. But yes, to your point, Lawrence, and thank you for saying that. I don't want to say it in an ableist way where I don't think just having a physical copy of a book is the only way to indulge in fiction. I do believe that if you are somebody who prefers auditory like learning or really prefers to read books via like listening to them via whatever platform, because there's some great applications you can use for your local libraries, particularly for those of you based in the States. Please do that. And also support local libraries, y'all. You don't have to own or buy a book physically. If you can, that's great to support an author. But if you can actually like get the book via a library instead, get a library card. I have one from my local library, for example. I'm going to encourage that as well because library books are dope. And you can't go wrong with that. But again, I'm saying that to say reading is really great. I grew up on reading Rainbow and a bunch of other things, so I'm biased towards that. But do it in the way that makes sense for you and a way that works for you in terms of getting knowledge and information. Because I think that's just super critical, especially with the fact that, especially with some of the ways that people try to not have people be knowledgeable about those things. So, but yes, on that note, a lot of these books are, one, fiction books. Some are based in history, which is why, again, this is a smash between Black history and Black present. Some of these books are not out yet. They're going to come out. But I hope that by sharing some of these titles with you, that you'll think about checking them out in regards to what they offer, or even, again, just share with other people who might be interested in these topics as well. Because this is my wall of books in terms of shenanigans. As in, I either plan to own these books, rent them out, or read them. And I'll talk about what happened compared to last year when I mentioned them in terms of some of my progress in terms of these books. So, with that in mind, let's get it poppin'. So the first two books, and this is me speaking for myself and nobody else, y'all know I'm a scientist, so I typically like to read books in the social science sense, as well as to read books from people who study different topics or related topics in terms of things. So the first book, which folks will be familiar with if you've seen me gab about this book last year along with this one, is Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington. I will put the caveat for this, and this is why this book is going to take me a long time to finish actually getting through. Medical Apartheid is a really, really good book about understanding the history of medicine and science from the lens in which folks of the African or Black diaspora have actually lived. It is a very heavy book, though, so I would recommend if you want to check out this book to understand the history of what's happened in especially the Americas, that you give yourself some breathing room to really digest this book because it's heavy. This is one of those books that I do plan to read and just rip through and probably need to read like two or three, four times. It just takes me a little bit because some of these heavier content books, I have to give myself the space to actually sit with and like marinate. And sometimes they're really, really heavy because of the historical context in which it's talking to some of the topics in here that can be very heavy or triggering and stuff like that. But I do like this book because I do think it's important to get history from perspective of folks who've done that work, whether it's through their academic programs or just their lived experiences, to be able to understand like what communities and groups have gone through and how this shapes practices and things like that in real life in the world around us, because you'd be surprised how some of the things that we consider to be like the norm is really just based on stuff that was done in the past that maybe we need to question a little bit. So I'm all to say, like, this is the book that I also recommend, as well as a few other titles for folks who are interested in terms of in terms of certain topics around medicine and science and work around that. Another book in that same lane, because I do want to center as somebody who thinks in a global sense. I do try to find books from international audiences who can speak to contexts in which I'm not from. So I'm based in the Americas, or Turtle Island for those of you who are familiar. But I'm not based in other areas who can speak to different experiences, specifically of Black folks from the diaspora, because as folks will know, Black people are all over the world and have different lived experiences and expertise and different lenses in which they can speak to their perspectives and experiences. So I specifically talked about this book last year in terms of health equity in Brazil, because there's a large Black population in Latin America, specifically all over. So shout out to my Afro Latinos and Latinas. I appreciate you. But this book in particular has been on my radar. I still didn't get a chance to read it this past year, but I actually think, well, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. I like the name because it reminds me of a certain K-pop idol named Taehyung from BTS, but I'm gonna be quiet because I don't need to go down my K-pop routes. But I hope you enjoy your stay and appreciate the follow in terms of shenanigans. But this book in particular is where I do want to actually start reading books from international perspectives from Black people all over the world, because I do think it's important, especially for my interest in terms of the sciences, to be able to get perspectives from people from those parts of the world, as well as I do really want to actually start reading science books from folks in different languages. That's one of the reasons why, like I talked about on my last stream, like one of my goals is to actually be a polyglot, because I do actually want to read science and literature from other communities, but not necessarily translate it from English, because you lose the nuance of certain things when you transcribe across languages. But I also do think too that being able to communicate with folks in their native language is super, super important. Of course, in like a culturally appreciative way. And yes, Lawrence, that's a good point too, that I do appreciate that you dropped in the chat, that yes, Brazil has the largest population of Black people outside of the continent of Africa. So that's why I specifically want to make sure I dive into this book, but also why I do plan to, as one of my goals within the next like couple of years, to really dive into books around science from folks of the African diaspora in different countries like Brazil and different continents. So I'm specifically having not necessarily trouble looking into those books. I think I just need to do a little bit better about researching those ones. But I'll just say, like, these two books I highly recommend if you're interested in the topics around Black folks in not only the Americas but also in Brazil, but also in the general if you're into medicine and science like I am, because that is a big topic for me in terms of those intersectional conversations, as well as the importance of understanding this information to really get how different lived experiences and expertise can be colored a little bit different in terms of the flavor. And what I mean by flavor, and not, and I hope the way I'm explaining in my metaphorical way, of your social environments, your contextual environments, as well as historical context will give you a different perspective of why, like someone who's black in the South will give you a different perspective of somebody who's black in Brazil versus somebody who's black in Asia, for example. So I think those are really important perspectives to have that I also, again, try to keep in mind. And in this context of Black History Month, it's super, super important to keep that context in a global sense. Because again, I don't want to speak for folks outside of my own lived experience to a degree because I'm black, but I'm black based in a certain area, which is the Americas, and I can't speak for certain perspectives I don't have. So, highly recommend these two books. Probably for next year's stream, because like I said, medical part-time might take me a little bit of time to actually get through, but I specifically think for health equity in Brazil and some of the other books, I'll definitely talk about a few more choices next year once I kind of get through some of these books. Which is why, again, audiobooks are great, because I'm assuming some of these might actually be audiobooks now at this point, because they're a bit older in terms of choices. But okay, the next ones that I have are if you're into the intersections of blackness specifically. And what I mean by that is I always try to be mindful of black folks are not a monolith, just like other communities are not a monolith. And what I mean is that people have different lived experiences and different things that they're dealing with. So one book that's been on my radar that I, like I said, did not get to finish last year, but there actually, I do believe, is an audiobook. So for those of you who actually want to read this book or listen to it, I do believe is available, is Black Disability Politics. This book specifically dives into the historical context of disability at the intersection of blackness. And I do think these types of books are important because I think in the context of history, we sometimes can miss the opportunities to see what different communities who live at different intersections or different contexts, what their historical context and history brings breadth and depth to what's happened when it comes to what's happened globally, but also in sometimes our local context. So one thing I've been thinking about since the ongoing things with COVID and stuff like that is to try to really think about the context in which these things can be grounded to understand why material conditions have happened the way they have. Or as folks will know, the social scientists, I will always ask the question, it depends. If someone asks me, why did this thing manifest the way it does? So for me, I'm always asking the question, why? So books like this will help me get to the why of, how disability emerges when it comes to folks who identify in the Black or African diaspora. Because that's going to be a little different from folks who are not Black in terms of their experiences when it comes to disability. And I think that's something that's really, really important to highlight books like this to be able to talk about those nuances. The same thing with the book Race After Technology by Ruha Benjamin when it comes to artificial intelligence, when it comes to data algorithms, and things like that, because I think having a lens in which people who studied science, big data, and artificial intelligence through the lens and their lived experiences will also be able to make you understand why conversations around like digital blackface and things like that can be really important to know why these things manifest, but also what people can do about it when it comes to making sure that we're thinking about the ways we use technology and how our future can be shaped by the which people have the imaginations of. One of the things I think of all the time is I love Ghost in the Shell. And one of the big things philosophically for those of you who have seen Ghost in the Shell, which is a cyberpunk story about Makoto Katsuragi, who essentially works for the defense force, almost like a police force in her world. But that story really spends a lot of time asking people what it means to be human in a world where people are both cyborg or not. And I think the philosophical questions in that series are what, to me, Ruha Benjamin brings in her book around Race After Technology. Really asking what it means to live in a world where we might have robots and artificial intelligence, and we'll have big data or algorithms and things like that. So I think that's really, really important, as is really, really key to read those perspectives and also compare them to the lived experiences that you may not be able to ever have. Because again, I don't want to speak for communities I'm not a part of, but again, it's really important to get those kind of nuanced contexts to be able to speak to them. You read both of these very accessible, and yes, and thank you, Lawrence, for pointing that out, because one thing that I think is really important that I like about these books, which I'm glad to hear of, is I really like authors, specifically in the nonfiction space, who write things in a way that people can understand without having to get into academic jargon. Because don't get me wrong, y'all, like, I have degrees, I do the things without speaking for myself or anybody else and not going into it in terms of stuff, but I don't like to be elitist. I'm the type of person where I think that people should have accessible information and should have the right to information. So to Lawrence's point in the chat, These texts are very accessible, so they don't use big jargon, but try to explain things in the way that you can explain it to like a 5-year-old or your grandma, which I think is really important, at least to me as somebody who values communication, because I think it's one thing to have a lot of like science and education and information, but it's another thing to actually be able to share this information in a way that's digestible to somebody where they can understand it and have conversations with people at the dinner table type of thing. So I highly, highly recommend these books, as well as Lawrence. If you have any other comments about these two reads, please feel free to share in the chat, of course, for anybody who's watching live, lurking, or watching the VOD. Because I specifically like these two books and want to dive more into them. And again, these are going to be some of the titles I more likely will probably, which this is the type of book reader that I am, but I typically write notes on the sides of my books next to text and try to really, really absorb information, because I like to really be intimate with my books. And what I mean by that is I really like to spend time rereading dialogue, text, and breaking down what that means for me and spending a lot of time with the book. This is also why, as you see with most of the games I play, like RPGs, I spend forever in a day like getting the system, the mechanisms and things like that to be able to understand something, because I want to know it like the back of my hand. So if someone asks me to explain it, or if someone asks me why I like something, I'll give you a very long, detailed explanation, because I've spent a lot of time thinking about it instead of just like offhanding it. Not saying that's a bad thing. It's just I that's just how I'm built, y'all. So I hope that makes sense in terms of what I'm saying. But yeah, so those are again some fiction, non-fiction books about health and science. These books on intersections and things like that. And now we'll move on into some fantasy books. Anybody who knows me should know, y'all should not be surprised I'm talking about Legend Boarding Game, but we're going to talk about Legend Boarding Game tonight. So, for those of you who do not know, I am a Tracy Deonn fan. If she ever watches my streams, I would scream, because while I'm not like a person to get caught up in celebrity, I love fiction books, and I love black protagonists. And Legendborn is one of those series that I know I will not stop talking about, because it's one of the few books I've ever picked up and straight up just read it in like a day. And I'm not knocking on other books if it takes me longer to get through them, but the way I ran through this book series, as I talked about last year, for those of you who were last year for this freaking stream, is dope. And the reason why I love Legendborn is because the way that Tracy Deonn weaves Southern historical, like, black culture with, like, without spoiling the story too much, but like medieval King Arthur mythology and the characters being diverse and really cool is why I love this story. It's a young adult series, so it is where the characters skew a bit younger. I think they're in their like late teens, early 20s. And for those of you who know, I usually read young adult or older in terms of my stories, because I typically stay in that genre. But again, that's because like if a story is good, I'll read it. It's fine. But if you're somebody who would like to recommend a book, especially for like anybody's black, specifically like black women or kids like coming of age in terms of stories, this is one of the really good ones where there's a lot of magic, powers, kids just trying to fight the bad guys type of Final Fantasy energy that I love in a book. And the reason why I will especially not shut up about this book when we play South of Midnight in April is because Oathbound, the third book in this series, which I do believe is going to be a 4-book series, is coming out in a month. And your girl pre-ordered it. So, if I don't shut up about this book in a month, I'm so sorry. Along with those other books I'm going to read. I'm not going to be quiet about this. The only caveat I will say for this book is that it is heavy in certain parts. So I will say that if you're not in a mood to deal with processing grief, I wouldn't read this right now. But if you're looking for a really good fantasy story, specifically about a diverse set of characters and a black girl who's just trying to navigate just her new environment in school, along with navigating mythology and King Arthur type of vibes, I highly encourage you to check out Legendborn and Bloodmark. They've both been out since, I do believe, 2019, 2020. Bloodmark has been specifically out, I think, for a few years now. And Oathbound, the third book, is coming out in March, with I think the last book coming out maybe in like 2027, 28. I really highly recommend this series. I loved it. Like I said, I read the first book. I want to say, I don't even remember. I think I got a recommendation from Book Talk, which I'm not really on there too much, but I do follow like authors and I do follow other book readers. And when I got this book, I bought it. I tore through it, as in I read it super quickly in a day. I pre-ordered the second book, got that and read that in a day. So that's all I'm gonna say. If you're looking for a book in terms of fantasy and you just want to have a lot of fun, please check out Legendborn. Because one, you can talk with me about it if you decide to read it, and two, it's just a really fun book. And I just think really fun fantasy books starring black women being badass as hell is just always gonna make me smile because I play Final Fantasy 14 in Black Girl Magic. So there's that in terms of those choices. Some other recommendations I do have are ones that I'm still churning through, specifically This Poison Heart by Kaylin Byron and Tomi Odeo's Children of Blood and Bone. So for Children of Blood and Bone, you might know this series because it's actually going to become a movie. So Children of Blood and Bone, has been out, I want to say, since 2016, 2017. I've read through most of book one. I think I might have read a little bit of book two, but don't quote me. I have to go back and think about it. But I'm pretty sure I've met most of book one. I was reading it for a book club. My book club was like, meh, for some reasons, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to spoil it. But if you're looking for specifically a book that has a lot of fantasy that's typically placed in African mythology and lore, from my understanding, in terms of what I remember from the book, I highly encourage you to check out Children of Blood and Bone. It's really, really well done, personally. I do have some of my gripes with the story, more so than I would with, like, Legendborn, but I do think it's really interesting of a story, and Tomi, which is a really fun fact that I like to talk about, is that she's a BTS fan, so you can tell she loves high fantasy and things like that. But this particular book series will be getting a movie. I do believe it's coming out in 2026-27, which there's been some good conversations and commentary on in terms of that, but I will say check it out for yourself in terms of your opinions. The book series has 3 books in the series. I want to say there might be a 4th one, but I could be wrong. But I do believe it has 3 books out. So it's Children of Blood and Bone. I think oh my god, it's Children of Blood and Bone. Why don't I just look this up instead of like trying to guess the name? I know there's 3 books. And I know you're probably thinking, well, I didn't put all 3 books on this book stream. But then we would have been here longer, y'all, in terms of the shenanigans. But I did want to bring up the first one at least because some folks might not necessarily want to read the whole trilogy. Just like with like Legendborn, I think you should still read all these books. But I'm just saying, like, you might want to check out all these book series. But if you don't want to move past the first book, that's fine. But specifically for this one, it's Children of Blood and Bone. What's the next one? Children of Virtue and Vengeance. It's the sequel. And then the next one coming out is Children of Anguish and Anarchy. So those are the 3 that have come out. I'm trying to see if there's a 4th one. I lied. There's not a 4th one. But there are 3 different books for this series. So if you're looking for something that's a lot of fun in terms of that continual black fantasy kind of story, check out Children of Blood and Bone and the 2 other books that go along with this trilogy. And then This Poison Heart was a book that I started reading, actually. Shout out to Cafe. They were having a book club about it. I started reading this story a little bit. Specifically, this one is if you took Poison Ivy, a character who's black, and gave them the powers of Poison Ivy, and essentially helped them discover their powers without spoiling a little too much. That's kind of a spoiler in what I just said, but it's not enough to where if you read the book, it's a huge spoiler anyway. But if you like Black Girl Magic and plants and Poison Ivy like powers and just discovering who you are in terms of their coming of age story, I highly encourage you to check out This Poison Heart. I personally think the book itself is not a bad read. I still need to finish it myself, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the characterization as well as the people in the book, especially the main protagonist who's on the cover of the book, as you can see. I think she's very daring and thoughtful, even though she doesn't feel like she fits in anywhere. So it kind of reminds me of like Peter Parker, somewhat like Danny Phantom vibes a little bit in terms of just where she's at as a character. So I really, really, really enjoy that aspect of the book, and I do want to finish it to kind of see where it goes, and also because it's a sequel book, which I'll talk about in a second. But I'll just say, again, if you're looking for more high fantasy books like Legendborn, This Poison Heart and Children of Blood and Bone are bad choices to make, particularly if you're looking for more young adult novels, specifically with black characters and protagonists in them. So just wanted to bring those up again in terms of me reading them. I do plan to finish these series specifically to give my full impressions in terms of things. I may or may not like them as much as I like Legendborn and other books that I read, but I'm still going to try to check them out because I just want to. And that's just how I am. So that's how we do it. That's how it goes. All right. Next set of books. So like I said, This Poison Heart has a sequel. It's This Wicked Fate. It builds off the book in terms of the main protagonist learning about her powers as well as her background in regards to her poison ivy character like vibe. And then of course with Skin of the Sea, which I talked about last year, this is a book series that is also on my to read list still, but essentially it's Black Mermaids. And that's literally like it's African mythology and Black Mermaids, y'all. That's literally it. Like I do like the grim fairy tales. So I do, like y'all know with like Shadowbringers from Final Fantasy 14, I do love fairy tale stories. So if someone can make a spin-off of fairy tale story or make it their own, I will read it. I will eat it up every day. So I love mermaids. I love that type of vibe. I'm going to always read books with like fantasies, fairy people, and whatever, and swordswomen and paladins. If you haven't noticed a theme with me in Final Fantasy 14, hint, hint, wink, wink. So, Skin of the Sea, I've heard is really, really good, like I talked about last year. So that's just something to where why I want to read it, because Black Mermaids and This Wicked Fate is a sequel to Poison Heart. So I'm just gonna support like series that have like multiple books to them because I like having book series. Ask me how I am with Legendborn again for the 1,000th time. But in general, I do tend to like books that keep going because that's why I like long books like Final Fantasy. Well, not Final Fantasy 14 is not a book, but the reason why I like games like Final Fantasy 14 and Persona and stuff is because I like series that are very long that have like give me a lot of meat and potatoes with the story. So I'll just say, if you're looking for a story with Black Mermaids with African mythology, or if you just want to keep going in terms of the story from This Poison Heart, you should check out these two books. Which again, I plan to read these because again, I don't have any chill. I do not ever about fantasy and blackness. I don't. That's never going to change about me. I'm sorry. It's just not. And then on the next set of books, which I've talked about these two books, which I actually really think I'm going to get into specifically because of some of the newer books that are coming out. But A Song of Wrath and Ruin and the Self Same Metal specifically is about black women and armor, fighting, and royalty. And y'all, listen. I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I respect those of you who do. I just didn't. But if you give me women with swords and badassery and royal stuff, I'm going to eat that up too, even though I don't watch Bridgerton or anything like that. But if you give me Lord of the Rings and women fighting people with magic and stuff, like give me that type of dopeness, I am there every day. Sign me up. So, I specifically found, like I talked about these two books last year because one, they look really interesting. Two, I do love the fact that I've been looking for more stories about swords people. And Legendborn does have sword fighting in it. It's a slight spoiler. It's not a huge one, but again, King Arthur kind of gives it away. So I specifically put these books on the list because I highly recommend if you're looking for, again, stories that have that fantasy, high fantasy vibe, mythology, as well as a lot of just storytelling related to just sword fighting and, blacksmiths and things like that. Check this out. Because again, I love me some medieval stories. I do because I'm a nerd and I will lap that up every day because I just think it's really cool. Just like I want to learn archery in real life. So again, me being an archer in Final Fantasy 14 should tell you a little bit about myself every day. But these particular stories, I'm excited to check in it's about because as I'll talk about when we get to that book series, these two I do believe do have sequel stories after them, which is really, really exciting because again, you just can't go wrong with that. I'm just saying. Like, you just can't go wrong with that. So that's why I put them on the list again for this year because I'm not playing. I'm freaking serious. And then I do believe these are the last set of books that I have from last year. And apologies that, let me actually make the screen a little bit smaller so it's not completely going off the window. That is my bad. We'll do this. Okay. Witches Steeped in Gold and Wings of Ebony are two stories specifically that are going to continue this fiction genre of magic, black women, and witches and powerfulness. Specifically, Wings of Ebony. Ebony, I specifically want to read because I know this is more urban fantasy versus Witches Steeped in Gold is more of based in, I think, Afro-Caribbean culture in terms of its lore and things. And if anybody's read these books, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to butcher these because these people make these beautiful books, and I do want to read them. But who doesn't love a good revenge story in magic and urban fantasy with people doing dope things and helping the world around them? So, again, I really wanted to challenge myself specifically, and I've always done this. So, for people wondering if I've ever read books of fantasy or black authors, That's been my thing since I was a kid. I've always read books by black folks because my parents specifically did that, and I'm grateful for them for that internally. It's just a lot of the times when I was growing up, you know, as I do still, you gotta sift through and find the books that have black people in them that are really, really dope. And then I resonate, of course, with like Peter Parker and things like that too, in terms of Marvel and DC characters. But I have gotten better and a little bit more shifty as I've gotten older to find books that are in certain genres that I'm looking for, whether it's sword fighting, medieval times, things like Castlevania, where it's a little darker in terms of dark fantasy, or just superpowers and stuff like that, or just general, just romance stuff too. So I have these two books on my radar because magic, just black girl magic, and I needed black girl magic books. So that's just how that's going in terms of shenanigans. So I highly recommend these two books. I've heard they're really, really good. Like I said, I can't wait to go through them in terms of things. Aren't you still growing up? Technically, you're right, Lawrence. I'm always a kid. My inner child will never go away. She's the compass to my heart. But yes, I'm still growing up. You're right in terms of shenanigans in regards to Yo, I don't consider myself to be old. I'm seasoned. But you're right on that, Lawrence, in terms of things. So I appreciate that comment a lot. So yeah. Okay. So now, this is a lot of the older stuff. So here are some books that I'm personally either reading, have talked about and hinted at, as well as I'm going to check out. So, again, I'm not going to go back into it again. But this is for the last time. Oathbound by Tracy Deonn comes out next month. I'm not shutting up about this book. If you look at the cover is amazing. So shout out to the freaking author, the artist who drew the cover. I love, like, as somebody who has lion's mane like hair, I love the way Tracy Deonn's covers are. It is so magical just seeing a black woman just have these amazing powers and just the amazing hair. All to say though, Oathbound's gonna be lit. For those of you who've read the series, we're gonna be in a lot of pain. I'm not gonna say anything else besides that. For those of you gonna jump in, you got a month. And if you join in on the shenanigans, I'm so sorry between book 1 and 2 of everything that's gonna happen. But Oathbound, I'm really, really excited for. I'll probably talk about it more once it comes out, because like I said, I pre-ordered the book, and I will probably have a special dedicated stream to South of Midnight and to Oathbound, because Southern Black Girl magic. As a Southern Black girl, I'm never shutting up about that. And they both have similar themes, so of course I would do a stream about both at the same time, because I don't have any chill. But yes, Oathbound. It's there. Another book that I specifically want to check out that's on my to-dos, because I think it's coming out actually in April or May, is This Ends in Embers. It's actually a book about black women and mythology and dragons. And for those of you who don't already realize this from my love of Heavensward and Endwalker right now, I really, really like dragons. Like, I love How to Train Your Dragon, even though I'm probably not going to watch live action because I'm too attached to the cartoon version. But This Ends in Embers is black people, kingdoms, fighting, and dragons in war. Hello. As if y'all didn't see me play through Heavensward. So when I saw this book, I was like, yeah. That's pretty much it for me. So all it is to say, I will see what happens. I'll probably maybe see if I can rent this book out from my library, because I do want to start using my library card a lot too, along with, getting books, of course, appropriately. But I'm really, really excited for this one because, again, I really do want to find more books in fantasy. And when I find one with dragons in it, it's like a meal and buffet for me, just because. And I just love it. So it's great. So these two books I'm really excited for, particularly because they're coming out near my birthday towards the spring equinox. So they'll probably be my gifts to myself, along with finishing the books that I'm currently reading, which will slide us right into the next slide, which is these two books. So Disorder Cosmos is actually not a fiction book. It's actually a nonfiction book about a black woman that I do follow. They are black and Jewish, actually. Dr. Prescott Winstein. I like this book, and I've been reading it a bit, specifically because they are a Afrophysicist, and I really like the way this book combines both talking about blackness, but also metaphysics and about Afrofuturism. And I am just a big fan of that because, as folks know, I really like Black Panther and Afrofuturism. So I really, really encourage this book if you're looking for someone's perspective who is studying just the precipice of what it means to think about matter and dark matter and protons and neutrons and metaphysics and just the way in which we can conceptualize science and our perspectives living in this time right now. Like, it's just, I cannot explain it besides that. And I really think the title describes how the book is. It's very, very meta and very, very thoughtful, but very, very scientific and also accessible. So I've really enjoyed it. It's taken me a little bit of time to get into the meat and potatoes of it, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it as a nonfiction read in regards to just the push on folks who are in the science, specifically Black women and Black femmes or Black people in general, who are in physics, who are in science, who are thinking about space travel and just those types of things, and us being made of star parts and stardust, like that type of vibe, I also love as well. Can you tell, if for those of you who know what Voltron is, can you tell I'm a Voltron fan? Because this is why I like robots and Transformers and why I love Keith from Voltron, because aliens. But anyway, we're not going to go down there. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying, check out Disordered Cosmos. Shout out to the author for this. I really thoroughly enjoyed what I've read so far. I look forward to finishing this book as well. And then, like I said, to the ends in, oh, it's not ends in Amber, my bad. Let me fix that right now. That should be, this is what happens when you're not paying attention in terms of titles. There you go. We're going to fix that immediately on stream. But The Iron Tongue of Midnight is the sequel book to what I was mentioning earlier in regards to things. And I don't have anything else to say besides this completely indulged instead of, again, women with swords. I'm sorry. Like, I don't have anything else to say. It's Black women with swords. Read it. Like, I don't know. This book has got really, you know, this book is the way it is. And I'm never going to turn down a read or recommendation from a sequel series about blacksmiths and swords and sword fighting and Black women being badass as hell. So I'll always say, hello, want to be Paladin, Final Fantasy 14. Highly recommend this book if you're looking for something like that, because why not? And that's it. That's the selling point I have for you. Just buy it, because, I mean, the cover already is amazing, but Black women with swords. So this will probably be like a really self-indulgent thing, especially once I finish Oathbound, because dragons and swords, that's all you need from me in medieval stuff, because I'm definitely my mother's child. So again, bias coming out here extremely fast. And then we have just 3 more book recommendations. This specifically one, Winter, is a spin-off series, so there are a few books before this one, but it typically spins off into a story about Winter the character, which I really, really am excited to check out. I'll probably read the books beforehand, but I do love a really good badass story about a Black woman, and it reminds me of Neva, the cover, so I was like, you know what? We're going to indulge in this as well. And then the Black Gods Drum specifically is about, I do believe, sky pirates, Black people, and Haitian culture. So, as somebody who, again, is biased because Castlevania Nocturne, you should watch that. I'm just saying, because of the vibes. Shout out to folks who know who Annette is. Again, I gotta finish Castlevania, but watch Castlevania. Again, more Black fantasy, more fun, more really great stories that do draw inspiration from different things, and spin-off stories that are really important in terms of being self-indulgent and wanting to read, again, more Black fiction. And these books specifically, I do believe, are coming out this year. So a lot of these titles I've been mentioning so far, they're different from last year, or books that are coming out either later this year or coming out in the future, which I think is really, really important, because along with Black Present, just know that, yes, there are books that talk about historical events and things like that too, but there are also Black people writing books today that I really want to support in real time, because why not? And I hope some of these stories get made into movies or cartoons, because I will be there sat watching them, because I don't have any chill, like I said. And then my last book is A Song Below the Water, which is, again, more Black mermaids, which I'm not going to lie to y'all, I do need to find Black books with Black fairies in them. there's books I've seen about black witches, as I've talked about already, and swordswomen and things like that. But I really want to read more stories with black mermaids. So this is another choice that I really want to look into as well, specifically in terms of this one, unlike the one in terms of black mythology or African mythology and mermaids. This one is actually based in the Americas, where the mermaids are based in Portland, Oregon, which is kind of cool, which I think is interesting in terms of that mythology. So I'm going to indulge in that in regards to how people will write about modern stories or contexts in which people might be familiar with from those angles as well, because I think it's really cool to get those urban fantasy type of vibes in terms of, what's possible and what's magical. So, all this to say, that's it. That's all I got for you. Again, I'm not saying that like I am the person who knows every single title that you should read in the world. Heck, I'm not even going to tell you whether or not all these books are going to end in the way that I want, because again, some of them are nonfiction books that are going to just speak truth to some things that I'm like, that hurts my spirit, but it's good to know history and facts and things like that. And some of these fiction books might end in the way where I'm like, meh, but I'm still going to check them out because I'm willing to give books a chance. And it's just really, really cool overall when I was preparing for tonight's stream to, one, look back at some of the books I still have my to-read list, the books I've started reading, and the books I've actually, finished. And also thinking about where we are in this moment in history, where I think it's really, really, really cool and critical to be aware that, like, blackness is always going to exist, no matter what anybody says. And that black authors are always going to exist. And black writers are super, super cool. And if you know any black writers, thank you for existing. Because you're the reason why that, again, like I say, imagination is super powerful and super important, because there's so many ways that you can write a story, and it's really, really cool to have those like cultural bound moments where you can connect and resonate with something. But also, even if I don't always resonate with every single thing a character does, because I don't have that lived experience or just don't live at that intersection, it's super, super cool to see how people can imagine the world around them or imagine worlds beyond my own imagination and kind of tap into that, especially if you get into metaphysical imagination, Afrofuturism part of things. So, yes, that's what I wanted to share because it's Black History Month. And that's how we're going to do the first part of streams. I hope you enjoy that for those of you who are into books and maybe want to find a little bit of things to read. And like I said, next year I will probably more so bring up more books with swords, more books with mermaids and fairies. And I'm probably, again, never going to shut up about Legend War. That's just what it's going to be. That's what's going to happen. And that's how it's just going to go. But I hope for those of you who've been watching live or watching the VOD or looking, hope you've enjoyed that so far in terms of things. Like I said, I do want to bring myself in terms of the hobby space. So I hope folks did enjoy that little rundown of me gabbing about books. And I want to spend a super amount of time trying to explain like the summary or synopsis. I really give you a reason why I like the book and give you a little bit of flavor of what it's about, and then give you the resources to check it out. Again, some of these books you might be able to find in a library / except for the ones that are coming out this year or coming out in the future. I do believe a lot of these books you can either get through audiobook format, you can probably get them at your local library, or they've been around for a minute to where you can even borrow a copy from somebody and have fun. And again, if you read these books, you can come talk to me about it or anybody else, because I won't be quiet about them anyway. And who doesn't love talking about a good book? And then one day, a book with a mermaid fairy with swords. You know what, Toko? You right, though. If someone made a romance book with a black woman who was a mermaid fairy with swords, I would actually eat that up and cry, because I am a toddler about that type of stuff. But again, that's why when I see like stickers, like shout out to GDB, as y'all know when I'm showing y'all my stickers on stream, when I see black women in fantasy and stickers, I absolutely just have a ball and get really, really excited. And that just makes my heart sing. So I'm going to manifest that because I need that in my life like yesterday. I need it in my life yesterday, Toko. I do. But okay, we are here. So we're going to go back to the chatting screen. And because we're talking about fantasy, we're going to play Infinity Nikki. So we're going to switch gears now. So for those of you who, again, want to hang out in terms of things, we're going to switch gears in terms of gaming now. So just give me 1 second to be able to do that. To get Infinity Nikki going. Because I thought it would be good to talk about books, and I knew I was going to gab on about fairies and glitter and swordswomen, and then I was gonna be like, let's do Infinity Nikki because I have to show y'all the updates along with talking about these books some more because I don't have any chill. So give me 1 second, everybody, to switch gears. And of course, if you have to scamper, because again, we have been streaming for about an hour and 20 minutes, so that technically counted as the co-working part of this stream. No worries. I hope to see you at another stream very soon. But if you decide to stay in terms of shenanigans, that is totally cool. And as for folks who are watching the VODs, I'm still working on timestamps in terms of things. Even though on Twitch, I've realized that I can set it up to where it has both of the things I did in the VOD. So for those of you who want to see my Infinity Nikki or Final Fantasy 14 streams or just do the co-working, you can kind of skip to and fro and things like that as well. Well, not necessarily skip to and fro, but just know what I was doing during that stream if you weren't here live. So just give me 1 second, everybody, to get Infinity Nikki up, and then I'll keep going and let y'all know what's good. And then we will probably go for a couple of, maybe a little while longer. I'm not exactly sure in terms of the timestamps. Only because we're pretty much done with Infinity Nikki's story, so I thought it would be a good way to round out the book talking stream and keep going on that riff. I said I'll be talking about these books at the next Black History Month streams too, because we're gonna talk about music and other things that I won't be quiet about when it comes to things. Because why would I stop? I will do what I want. But we'll go as far as we can because we are almost close to the ending of the Infinity Nikki storyline, at least for right now in terms of the story content. So I do want to share with you all that before we kind of get the ball rolling. So just give me 1 second to turn off the music, switch gears, and then I'll give you updates about what I've been doing in Infinity Nikki because I don't have any chill. And it keeps going on the fantasy vibes this lovely Valentine's Day evening because, yes, even though, again, my technology doesn't let me be great and stream this on Twitch too. But for those of you who follow me on both platforms, you can just let folks know on Twitch what happened. Or folks who are specifically on Twitch, I will make sure to flag YouTube shenanigans. So, yeah. But let's just give it 1 second in terms of switching gears. All right, it's loading now. Let me just get the gaming screen up to make sure. I think y'all can hear the game. I want to say y'all can hear the game, but let me not lie to y'all first. Okay, I know y'all can hear it, but let me... Alright, cool. Just give me 1 second, everybody. I just need to get the screen going, because it did that thing again that it's weird, being weird about. And then we'll switch it over. Yes, time for magical dress up. Exactly. And we will transition now. Thank you so much for your patience as always, y'all. The caption on the bottom of the screen in terms of shenanigans. Because, yes, Infinity Nikki time. Because, why not? And let me know if the sound, as always, as well as the audio is pretty good. It shouldn't take us more than but a second to actually get into Infinity Nikki as well. And then I can let y'all know what I've been up to, including... yes, the new stuff, as well as I have been gotching, y'all. It's a thing. I'm not going to apologize for it either. Again, like, dress up, magic, books, it's my world. It's what I'm going to do. Just got to give it a second to load. Sometimes it just takes a minute. All right. Log in now. So relatedly, in terms of the fantasy vibes in regards to games, it's gonna take a second. All right. So for Infinity Nikki, what I've been up to mainly is just logging on to do the gacha, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really mainly logged on to do that. I did want to save the story for you all too, and I don't think I did anything story-wise by accident because sometimes I realize I have to be careful when I'm logging on when I'm not streaming to not accidentally move the story progress forward. So that is totally my bad in terms of the shenanigans. But I will show y'all the updated events for Infinity Nikki in regards to what has been updated since the last patch. What is it? System maintenance, I think it was a few days ago, to let you know what's going on. I will say that what you've seen the last time I streamed Infinity Nikki
is still going on. I think there's only 10 days left of that with the 2 special banners that are limited edition, along with the permanent banner stuff that you've seen before. But I will show you the 2 new outfits that have recently just dropped from the system maintenance that I find are really cute. I personally only like one of them, which I will not lie to you. Yes, I went ahead and gotcha for it and got all of it because I don't have any chill. So that's just what I'm going to say to you now because of me and knowing me. But uh, again, it depends on the player. For those of you playing Infinity Nikki, you might be interested in terms of what the other outfits and other things are. So I'm going to make sure I show you all what that is before we get to the main story quest today. And I think since we're in chapter 7, I do believe, we might finish it tonight. No promises, but I do know in the next stream or two we're going to be done with the main story. And because of all the shenanigans, like I said, I will probably go back and forth between showing y'all some of the style battles or not. But the main story, like I said, I will remind folks I will still stream. So just putting that out there. But let me just. I was gonna ask if you have been spinning up all the. Yes, Toko. I'm not even. I'm not gonna lie to you. I usually for video games, I am not the type of person to spend all my money on gacha stuff. I am a reasonably frugal person, which is what I mean by I will budget out for certain things, but I'm not the type to gacha to the point where like some of the banners I just didn't get because I just was not gonna spend the money to try to get them, and that's just how I am. As much as I want the outfits, I'm not gonna do that because I just I don't have it in me. And I'm not gonna lie, like unless you have really good pulls, sometimes you just don't get the best items, so I'm just not gonna fight it. And yes, I do have Miku hair, so I do want to share some of the updates I did because I did jump on a bit. So I did change my fits in terms of my outfits in Infinity Nikki. This is one of my favorites right now. It combines some of the fits from the fireworks outfit from the New Year's event. I love this dress so much. I can't stand it. And I do love me black and neutral outfits. And I love this little bear that you get from the special banner, which I'll show y'all again as a reminder. But this is one of my favorite fits right now that's really cute along with the shoes. I love me a good high heel too. So this game is hitting at all my, again, Black Girl Magic vibes. Some of my other outfits to show you in terms of things is I did one more of a casual fit. So I've tried to combine some elements together to be able to do that, which I do love the fireworks aesthetic specifically. Like I love this hair bow, for example, in the hair. I'm not really 100% satisfied with this outfit, but I do like some of the accents that I put together, as well as I do like the cape from the banner, one of the limited banner outfits in regards to things. So I've been trying to break things down into casual fits, fancy fits, and then fairy and things like that. And I'm just having a lot of fun in terms of dress up. And yes, one of the new outfits that I have gotten is this Lolita-like fit to me that is super cute. So I tried to come up with a casual fit look with these heels because I'm sorry. I know people don't like high heels, but I love me a good heel. And this is just gorgeous. I can't stand it. As well as gonna have the teddy bear because I think that's adorable. The teddy bear rides on the shoulder. So I have this casual fit, which I think is really cool. And like I said, I like long hair. So I tried to put that piece in here along with some of the items for the special outfits. And my favorite earrings are from the, oh my goodness, the Miracle outfit, the first one you get in the game. I've accessorized that a lot with my outfits in game, which has been a lot of fun for me. So I do like this fit a lot. And then my last one specifically is this one. Which I do love this mermaid outfit and using the Miku hair. I do like that for some of the items, which I'm assuming might have come with the updates or not. But I do like that when you put certain hats on, it does slightly change the hairstyle. And I just think this is super pretty. So that's kind of what I'm rocking with right now, where it's a lot of trying to match aesthetic pieces together and just have different fits for different reasons because I just don't have any chill. And just having a lot of fun with it in terms of in-game things. But for today's stream, I'll probably be running around in this fit because, yes. Hello. I still don't have anything for Momo's wardrobe. So, and then I'm still working on getting some of the other outfits for her abilities, which, you know, you can't go wrong with that. I do have her whimsy outfit, so I do have the ability to have a bunch of poppers behind me in the game with hats on, which is super adorable. I also do have the fireworks one too, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna kind of said that it was number 8 because I think that's fun. But with some of the outfits, if you decide to gotcha for them, they do give you specific whimsical items that you can use in the game, which I think is super, super cute. But again, they're not necessarily, so don't feel like, again, you have to spend money in this game. What else is there? Oh, yeah. I do need to show y'all the new events. So let me go there first. I always forget as if I didn't do this every time I log in the game, but okay, the resonance. Got it. Show off some of this first. So like I said before, Skyward Banquets is the 2 resident outfits that have Stardust Flare and Midnight Vigil. At this time, I have both of these fits. I really actually wanted this entire fit particularly, but for some reason, whenever I gotcha'd, I'd always get the Midnight Vigil. So I'm not surprised that eventually ended up happening in terms of things. The other one that's limited to is Fireworks Prelude. These 2 limited banners are going to go away in about 10 days' time for anybody who's playing Infinity Nikki. I have mostly Enduring Bond, which I've showed y'all on stream before, and I want to get Dance Till Dawn. So we will see what happens between now and 10 days from now to be able to get this entire fit, because this is where the long hair specifically comes from that I'm wearing on my current outfit, which I think is really, really pretty because of the sparkly details towards the end, which I think is super cool. Now, the 2 newest banners that have come out specifically are Blossom Soilettes as well as Breezy Melodies. So, Blossom Soilettes is the one that I had to gotcha for because y'all, and I'll show this on the stream on like the other outfits I've gotten. This one's really cute. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I love the bow accessories. I love the Lolita style, and I like the little basket. I think that's super, super cute. I do also think the color gradient is very bright and loud. Not in a bad way, but it's very much given gradient pinks and purples. So I'm not upset about this. But I'll just say, like, I think it's a really cute outfit that's a 4-star that I really appreciate. Even though, again, y'all, I have so many sweets outfits in this game. So for any of the battles, if I do show them to y'all, I've got to get more in fresh, sexy, and cool, I feel like, because I feel like they're gonna beat my behind if I don't do that. So, but this is one of the outfits that you can get now. That's a 4-star. I do believe it's for 10 days for the remaining amount of time for the current events. And then Breezy Melodies is the one for as well that you can get to. This one I'm not as big of a fan of. I think it's still really pretty though. I think it's super cute in regards to the aesthetic, specifically the hair. I think it's really pretty along with the hat. So if I can get this, I will. But this is just what I mean in the sense of I'm laughing because I just talked about how I don't have any fresh outfits, and this is one. So I might need to gotcha for these items so I can see some of the style battles. So these are typically the 2 outfits that you can get for this cycle in terms of things, along with, again, Skyward Bouquets and Fireworks Prelude. So those are the things that have been updated, I want to say, since this past week's patch. And then I'm assuming after that, we'll get new outfits coming out soon. Even though there isn't any word for those of you who do play Infinity Nikki if they'll recycle any of the older fits yet. So, yeah. And then the last thing I'll show y'all is some of the quests that are available. So there's nothing new in regards to glowing fireworks, the fireworks styling challenges, drifting whim, these things around the carnivals of fireworks. I haven't really done too much new with these, even though, again, these are some of the side events that you can do as I kind of scroll through them again, because I've shown you all of this in terms of these updates that are either permanent or just specifically for the new update. Noon Bloom Festival is the same thing. This is remaining for 10 days. So for anybody who does play this, there's a bunch of events that are still available for you to try out in Infinity Nikki, which is, I think, really interesting and cool, personally. I'll try to do some of these, not necessarily on stream, but I do actually want to indulge myself in some of the things I haven't done yet in regards to the game. So I'm just kind of scrolling through these pretty quick to just show you all, because I think I've talked through a lot of this previously on stream. But this is just what's available right now in regards to a bunch of items and events, which I think is really cool. I don't even know if I've done any of these things, for example. Yeah, there's so many things I haven't done in terms of side events in Infinity Nikki. I think what is New Horizons Day, which goes with the 2 new outfits out of the 4 stars that I just showed you. So there's, I think, a bunch of stuff in, what's it called? I think I want to say these are in either Breezy. Okay, I was thinking Flora Wish, but I guess these are in Breezy Meadow. So there's a bunch of items that you can, sorry, a bunch of story quests you can do now, or at least side quests you can do. There's also Bright Moments, which I think I've collected, yeah, at least one thing for these, because I think they're connected to the current events available in regards to getting more stuff. Again, these limited time events, you can get so much stuff from them. And of course, you know, talk about the gacha elements, and then Drift Through the Skies is something new as well, that you can earn some more items or crystals and things like that to be able to move towards. So this is what's essentially the game is offering, along with Splendid Moments, which I want to say goes to some of the newer events as well. And then Deep Breakthrough in terms of the style challenges that you can do, as well as the Mirio Crown is the style challenges. Deep Breakthrough is, I think, related to some of the bosses or something like that, which I think we'll actually be able to get to soon. And then the Sovereigns, which you fight, which is, again, the Pokemon battle-like systems with the outfits. So that's kind of what has been added to the game in regards to stuff. As always with gacha games, there's so much to do, particularly if you are really, really indulging in collecting all the fits. Which, live your best life. I'm not judging you. I'm gotching for outfits too. But now we're going to run around in this Miku fit, and we're going to continue with the main story. I just wanted to show that off to anybody who, one, is playing Infinity Nikki, or just to show you what's kind of new that I've been paying attention to on my own in regards to what Infinity Nikki has to offer. Like I said, I don't play this game enough, I feel like, to... Well, let me not say that. I do play this game a lot. I think I just need to give myself more space to try out the side events. So let me not say that. That's why I'm still debating whether or not I do want to stream some more of the things, which I think I will. I'll always stream Infinity Nikki, so I'll always stream the main story. But I'm tempted to really stream some of the side stuff in bigger chunks with you all, because there's just so much to do. It's not a bad thing. There's just a lot to do. Okay. So we are going to continue on with the main story, which... Is that here? No, that's the side quest. Sorry. So just as a reminder, we are getting towards the part of the story where there's about to be a whole lot of shenanigans. And what I mean by that is we are by the Feywish sprites, and there's some suspicious things going on right now that don't make a lot of sense, and that humans have been captured to help them get the chalice. I think it's the chalice we were looking for. And Giovanni and all his shenanigans with the folks trying to do some nefarious things with the Feywish sprites and the paladins. So as we get back into the story, we're going to be finishing up this arc to figure things out. And sorry, I see the frame rates are going out a little bit, so if stream's a little bit choppy, I am so sorry. Let me see if I can wait if it kind of stops a little bit. If not, I can switch it for a second. Let's see if you can fix this. All right. Let me see, actually. This thing is not... Let me go to the chatting screen. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. My stream is being really choppy. So if the frame rates keep dropping the way that they are right now, we might just have to call stream early tonight. I'm hoping that won't be the case. But for now, we're just going to hope for the best. If not, we can make it a shorter stream. I'm so sorry. But let's go back to the gaming screen. It looks like it maybe fixed itself a little bit. Oh, no, it's not. Shoot. Nope. Maybe I had too much black girl magic. Maybe that's what happened. Infinity Nikki said no. Okay. Let's see. Sorry about this, everybody. I don't know. I'm assuming it's because a lot of people are doing stuff for Valentine's Day, which I'm not upset about. It's totally fine. But for the sake of stream, I would prefer it to not be choppy for you all. So I'm gonna see if it adjusts itself just a little bit more again. So if I go out again, let me know. If not, um, I might have to end stream only because I don't think it's gonna get any better. I think it just might just be super bad tonight, which is totally fine. It's my fault for trying to indulge the whim on a Friday night. That's what I get, but it's okay. So just hang tight for just another minute or two. I'm gonna try to do something else to see if that'll help. If it doesn't help too much, I'm gonna try to just stream maybe a little bit. If not, I might just have to cut. Okay. Um. Okay. I think I'm back. I don't know if the frame rate's gonna hold though. Let me see if it will. Sorry about it, everybody. I'm gonna just turn the music on real quick to see if it's decent enough. We should be able to, but if it starts dropping again, we just might have to end stream. I'm so sorry for all the technical difficulties tonight. I'm surprised it was nice to me during the book talk. Maybe it's because it was books. It's because of the books. That's what's happening. It wanted me to get to the book portion, but it did not want me to get to the fashion portion. That's disrespectful. I'm kidding. Sometimes just life happens. It's okay. It looks like it's holding, so I guess I'll try it again. We'll see. If it goes out again and I see it like trip out, I'm just gonna call it because, yeah, I don't know what's going on. But I'll just say, we're gonna turn the background music off. We're gonna start the game again. Thank you all so much for your patience. Like I said, I want to give you all a good quality experience watching me, even though I know y'all are really patient with me and don't expect things to not have scuff and shenanigans. But y'all, my cardinal rule, like I always say, is that if things aren't working after like 5 to 10 minutes or 30 minutes of like wildness, we just gonna cut stream. Cut stream, and I'm gonna send you off to somebody else whose stream is not being mean to them. But okay, we're gonna go to gaming screen. Try that one more time. Let's see if it'll hold. I just want to beat up Giovanni. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to beat that man up. If anything, I'm like, why did you make the person I thought was cool, who's my age, into an evil villain? Oh my god, Giovanni's just freaking Thancred when he gets freaking possessed by La Habrea. What is up with that? Or you can argue he's Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1. Sorry, that was a slight spoiler if anybody hasn't played that game, but you should play that game regardless. You should play that game regardless. I'm just saying. I hope, like, Giovanni gets a redemption arc, I guess. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, y'all. I hope he does it as part of the story, because we're gonna figure out, like... Because, remember, we have to remember this part of the story. We were told that Giovanni essentially got wrapped up into evilness when he was, like, 15. And this man is 30! So, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But we gonna find out, I guess, together. Which is something else, to say the least. Alright, we back. Cool. Where am I going? Okay. Oh yeah, I think we have to go into canon as Momo? Yes, we do. Alright, so I should probably switch powers. As much as I could light up things on fire right now. Yes. Oh, I definitely could have got all those Whim stars. Sorry, not Whim stars, but all those blings. But we'll just come back for them, I guess.
Scary. Nunabo was right to be worried. I'll purify the S-lings.
Alright. I think we have to go down here. And get out of this mode and start attacking things.
Dr. Malibu is here.
Also,
On the injured.
for context, I usually keep my my stylist in terms of Nikki. I usually keep it on auto lock, but I think you can edit that feature now as they've done more updates. Where if you just want to,
How is it here?
if you want to manually target the bosses or enemies yourself, you can as well. So
Nikki, thank you for purifying the S-lings. The patients are in bad shape. Earlier vine injuries were more mild. Feywish sprites who were affected had minor rashes. But the injuries here are serious and tricky. 2 are in a coma. 1 is still...
Lord Shigdut. Ugh. True warriors don't feel pain. Ugh. Pain?
The patients are physically strong.
And mentally, too. I was told they were injured during a wishball match when the vines erupted and injured everyone.
Falling from high up, no wonder.
Dr. Malibu, how long will it take to heal them?
They need to stay in bed for observation. I'll transfer them to the Delicious Wish Clinic as soon as I can, for monitoring. As for treatment, we'll need to wait for a detailed diagnosis.
Got it. Please, if there's anything I can help with, let me know right away. I wish I knew how to make medicine. Then, I could help. Wait, I have something here. It might help. What? Timisi's Twin Moon Cure-All. It can heal any injury in no time at all. That's right! When Timis was hurt by the mutated vines, it worked instantly.
I've heard about it. The Twin Moon Kingdom has miraculous medical techniques. We should try it.
I remember Timi should be in the residential area today. She's working with a couple from our lab. They're working on a makeup experiment. Then let's go to the residential area to find Timi's. I'll get the potion and meet you at the clinic.
my bad. Need to move things around. All right. So I think we're getting out of this area. Oh no, we're not. I lied. So I'm gonna go teleport then, because she's right there. We love a fast travel.
Timi's. Nikki? I missed you. I missed you a lot.
It hasn't been that long. What could you
Dang, Momo.
Momo, I missed you too.
I missed you too.
You're just in time. Come look. Couples makeup I designed for the Fair Sprites. First, use the Pop Fresh lotion as a base. Then a layer of soft Night Sky foundation. Oh, and don't forget the shiny hair gel. Wait, Timis. We came here for something urgent. Mutated vines erupted at the Wishball Field, injuring a lot of Feywish sprites. We need some of your Twin Moon Cure-All. What? 1 second. I'll get the potions right away. Potions? Potions? Where are they? Why do I have so many eyeshadows? No, this is liquid blush. Found it! Nikki, here. Take this. Go quickly.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that eyeshadow comment made me crackle. That really made me crackle. Okay, heal the injured Feywish sprites. Are they up? I'm assuming? Maybe? I'm assuming they're up. I will continue to say Infinity Nikki is still a fun game for me. It's been really inspiring for my fashion style. So I've really, really enjoyed that aspect of it. Oh, I bought everything in here? Okay. I thought I didn't. Are we getting further away? So that means it's back this way then. Okay. Got it. The question is, how the devil do I get up there? I feel like there's some cannon stuff I gotta do first. Which, I'm totally fine with that. I just need to be told because y'all know me and cliffs and directions. It's just not a good time for me. When I have to remember how to climb up things. I also think it's still very cute how the Feywish stripes, these Feywish sprites are just little balls of fur when they're babies. Like, are you kidding me? That's adorable. Okay, no, but low key, where am I supposed to go? I know I've done this before. Probably one of them clumsy things. I'm just like, hey, you don't remember how to jump over to the place you gotta go to. And the answer to that question is, no, I do not. No, I do not. Watch it be in the most easy spot to find because I don't... And I would do that. What did I just tell y'all about freaking cliffs being my mortal enemy? Like clockwork, I fall off a cliff. And you're still seeing your coffin? Yes, it is beautiful. I'm so sorry. I'm like 3 to 5 business minutes late. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. Everything is so pretty. Okay, but seriously, how do I get up here? I could become Momo and just maybe no. Nope, I lied. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I don't know what I'm doing. Aha. That's what it is. All right, got it. Good to know. We are not doing that puzzle, though. Oh, let me actually get up here. All right, thank you, Momo. I'm like, I need you to grab onto here. Just a little bit. We need one of them things. Figured as much. I swear I saw them, though. Sorry, I saw them because I know y'all saw them too. And now I don't see them where I can grab them as Momo, which is not great. This is what I mean about these corners and these areas where I'm like, I can run around being pretty, but I don't know how to get on top of things anymore because I'm not able to see differently. I think I saw some up there. Please don't fall off. All right, maybe if we jump up here, you know, or we could fall. That's totally a viable option that we would fall off. Okay, I was about to say, like, there's gotta be a way to get up here that's not this complicated, and yet I'm making it complicated because cliffs are my mortal enemy again. Okay. All right, is these two?
Ouch! What's this? Huh? I don't hurt anymore. Thank you, young human girl.
Crying.
In my younger days, I was a star wishball player. Absolutely nothing could defeat me on the field.
Why is this
If I faced those mutated vines back then, I would have kicked them away with one hit.
Why does this favorite sprite remind me of Fairy Odd Parents? I don't know why. Or characters from it.
My back. It's healed. That's great. I can play wishball again. I've played for decades and never scored a point. I almost thought I'd have to live with that forever. Thank you, human.
Let's go.
What's this? The pain? Huh? It's gone! A blessing bestowed by Lord Chigda!
A blessing? This was the Twin Moon cure-all from Timmy's. It's a result of her hard work and ingenuity. What does the Wishmaster have to do with it?
Everything! Not every Feywish sprite gets to use this potion. Therefore, it must be Lord Chigda's blessing that I can use it! And when I play Wish Ball, my score is higher than the other Feywish sprites!
Seems like you admire Chigda a lot.
Address him as Lord Chigda. Oh, the great Lord Chigda, the sole survivor of his squad, saved us from starving. He brought back countless wishing orbs to the Wishing Woods! Oh, the great Lord Chigda. He selflessly distributed the wishing orbs. He even captured the traitor who stole the Orium vase! Ha! Oh, the great Lord Chigda. His talent is unmatched. And this is his magnificent sketch!
This is... his sketch?
Wow, nice! Where did you get it? I heard the Wishmaster hasn't been around. How did you get his sketch?
I have my ways.
What ways?
The Paladins regularly dispose of items from the Temple of Wishes. I found this while rummaging through the discarded items.
You did something that sneaky and didn't get caught by the Paladins?
It's not sneaky. I'm following and recording the life of the great Lord Chigda. Besides, the Paladins, they're oblivious. They don't know the Temple of Wishes blind spots like I do.
That's impressive. Can we take a look at that sketch? It's just... well, I'm a stylist. And, after hearing about Lord Chigda's deeds, I admire him too. I'd be thrilled to see his sketch.
I knew it! I knew you'd also be captivated by the great Lord Chigda! In that case, I've decided this precious sketch is for you!
Really? Isn't it valuable to you?
Of course it is! But just thinking of how Lord Chigda selflessly shared the wishing orbs, I feel I should follow his lead! Besides, you saved me with the Twin Moon cure-all. I need to repay you somehow. Take it, before I change my mind!
Don't worry. I'll cherish it.
Yes, you better. I'll be checking up on you. Also, if you want to learn more about the many great deeds of Lord Chigda, you can visit the librarian at the Temple of Wishes, Pokobo. She provided me with a lot of the inspiration for my wood carvings of Lord Chigda. But I think she still knows some secrets about Chigda she hasn't told me. One day, I'll know them all!
The Wishmaster did at least some good deeds.
I'm crying.
Maybe that's how he became the Wishmaster. But right now, he seems so strange. We should go talk to Pokobo like Morimoto suggested.
I love how my brain just figures out how to actually get through this part as soon as I find the one thing. So funny. Nope, don't hit me. Exactly. Exactly.
Go. Don't go. Go. Don't go. Well, either way, the Paladins will kick me out. Hi. Are you the Temple of Wishes librarian, Pokobo? Me? Yes. No. I'm not. I'm no longer the temple librarian.
Huh? What happened?
I got fired.
That stinks. Why?
Because I secretly lent some ancient books to Nunabo from the Wishcraft Lab.
So Nunabo's ancient texts came from you.
And if she asked, I wouldn't hesitate to lend them to her again. It's not fair. Why fire me over that? I applied for ancient book maintenance funds several times, but the Wishmaster rejected them. And Avicenda, he only cares about his own family's history. His ancestors may have been trusted servants of the Wishing One, but all of history has value, not just the flashy and heroic tales.
I agree.
How to make dye from glimmergrass? The first Feywish sprite to cook a wishing orb? The most popular wishball team in history. History can tell us, and I think that's important.
Yes, me too. And the history of barbecue. Can't forget that.
As Feywish sprites, our primary duty was to listen to and understand every wish, then bring them to the Wishing One. To ensure the accurate conveyance of wishes, the first Wishmaster established the archive, gathering information on the lives of various beings. Our lives may differ from one another, but our life experiences are similar. If we can't understand the small things around us, we can't listen to and understand wishes. It's something the first Wishmaster once said.
I love that quote.
But Lord Chigda doesn't like it, or think it's important. He ordered the archive to be closed, and won't let anyone borrow books.
Pokeball.
Nikki, you can't ask her anything if she keeps crying like this.
Let me think. Maybe I could use the violinist outfit to play something soothing and calm her down.
Good idea. Give it a try.
My feelings. Poor baby. Oof. Oh, we need to be in the violin outfit. Me moving around from my spot when I just had music ready. Okay. Oh, my bad. Wrong button. Oh my goodness. Okay. Already messing it up.
I feel less sad. Being fired isn't the end of the world. Sorry, I emoted all that on you.
It's alright. I'm Nikki, a stylist. Just curious, why is it that nobody is allowed to borrow books from the archive?
It's Lord Chigda's order. I don't understand either. Even the history of his rise to the position of Wishmaster, he ordered it sealed away. But there are a lot of strange things going on with him. Not just this.
Exactly. When the mutated vines were hurting Feywish sprites, he didn't care. And when our friend Jiroda was captured by the Paladins, he didn't care.
What? Jiroda was captured again?
Oh. You and Jiroda.
He's my friend. It was Jiroda's encouragement that helped me become a librarian. I used to stammer when I talk, and wasn't a stylist. I was too scared to tell others my wishes or what I wanted to be. I thought that someone like me could never hope to pass the temple assessment.
But now you're even brave enough to lend ancient books to Nunabo.
It's all because of Jiroda. When I first met him, he told me proudly that he wanted to be a Fey-wish knight. Lots of sprites laughed at him. They told him it was impossible. But he kept smiling and never stopped pursuing his wish.
That's right. And aren't wishes all about making the impossible possible? All wishes are equal. Even the smallest person can make the greatest wish. Feywish sprites are no exception. It's fine if we don't know how to achieve them. In fact, we make wishes because we don't know how to. First, make the wish.
And the wish will guide you forward.
Yes, that's how Jiroda gave me courage. But
you had to deal with a strange wishmaster. Pokeball, Nikki and I are investigating him. Other than sealing the archive, is there anything else suspicious about him?
I know one thing the Wishmaster is very secretive about, but I'm not sure if it will help you.
Don't worry, we'll verify the facts.
All right, the Wishmaster isn't actually a stylist.
What? Then
nobody knows this?
Very few. The Feywish sprites who were with the Wishmaster and the Paladins back then are all gone. Also, he's worried this would affect his prestige, so he never mentions it. That's why hardly anyone knows.
This information... It's very useful, Pokeball. We're going to confront the Wishmaster again and find out where Jiroda is.
That's great! I hope Jiroda returns soon. Miss Nikki, the Wishing One will bless you.
Nikki, if Chigda isn't a stylist, then where did Morimoto get that sketch?
It's possible the Wishmaster we saw isn't the real Chigda.
Dun dun dun.
Nikki, the Temple of Wishes won't let us in again.
Maybe you distract the guards and we'll sneak in the entrance.
I got it. Leave it to me.
Dun dun dun. I love how the game tell me Garage isn't a successful performance, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd call that successful, but we did it. So.
Help! Oh, help me! Help me! The inspection center! Someone ate a huge desperation orb and mutated!
A desperation orb mutation? Come, let's go check it out.
Nikki, they're gone. Now let's sneak into the Temple of Wishes.
Not them falling for that and us sneaking in. I'm sobbing right now. Oh, I gotta be tiny for this. Sorry. Let's actually switch powers so we can actually get in there. So I was like, that's not working the way we think it's supposed to.
How did you get in? Paladins! Throw them out!
Blah, blah. Yell all you want. The guards are on their way to the Quality Inspection Center, looking for a made-up, mutated sprite.
You distracted the Paladins and broke in here. What do you want? This... How did you...
It was found in the trash. This sketch was recovered from the Temple of Wishes. Recognize it?
I know nothing about it. It has nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with you. The Wishmaster, Lord Chigda, has a big secret. He's not a stylist.
Since the real Chigda isn't a stylist, and you made this design, who are you?
Nonsense. I'm the Wishmaster. Who else would I be?
Heh, your reaction says otherwise.
Tell the truth. We have evidence, witnesses, and proof.
The truth will come out eventually. Admit it!
What do you want?
We want the whole truth. To rescue our friend Jiroda, and to help the innocent, the coma victims.
Nikki is an official Stylist Guild investigator. Tell us what you know. She'll investigate fairly.
If I tell you everything, can you promise not to tell other Feywish sprites and return the sketch to me?
I'm gonna say sure.
All right, I promise. But you need to tell us everything you know.
All right. I admit, I am not the real Chigda.
I knew it. Why are you pretending to be Chigda?
The paladins forced me! I, like Chigda, had desperation syndrome. To get better treatment, I agreed to their deal. Since then, I've been stuck in the Temple of Wishes, pretending to be Chigda. I'm their puppet for issuing orders.
So, the Paladins kidnapped a lot of human stylists. Do you know why?
I didn't dare ask questions, but I heard about it. They warned me to mind my own business and threatened dire consequences if anyone found out.
If all this time, you've been the one in here, then where is the real Chigda?
I don't know. Since I became their puppet, I haven't seen him. I even suspect he might have died, and they're relying on me to keep that a secret. I told you everything I know. I swear, it's the truth!
For now, I believe you. According to you, the Wishing Woods is under the Paladin's control. Where is Jiroda imprisoned?
He should be in the cavern prison near the Grand Miliwish tree. It's where the Paladins secretly imprison rebellious Feywish sprites. I have a spare key. If you give me back the sketch, I'll give you the key. Then you can rescue Jiroda.
Okay, it's a deal.
Oh, that's good. It's intact. Here's the key. Go now. Rescue your friend. But please, don't tell anyone about this.
What did I tell y'all about Infinity Nikki being dark? Because what do you mean? The way he casually said that. Oh my goodness. Man getting threats and everything. Oh, you can sit down in here. Oh, Mom, okay, sit. I think I saw something earlier that said that, but it's just cute that he can sit down in there. All right. Where do we go to free our good old friend Jiroda? We're gonna teleport her behind. It's down here. Can you believe it though? I don't know how to feel right now. Oh, we didn't want to do that. All right, time to fall off the cliff. Huzzah! Dang, they really did put us behind in the tree. All right, time to go save our friend. This conspiracy theory is wild, though. Well, not conspiracy theory, but this what they're doing. This story is wild. Because what do you mean? Oh, it should be small again. Okay. Jiroda!
Nikki,
Jiroda used to be imprisoned in here often. This place holds painful memories for him. Oh, this must be Jiroda's drawing.
Jiroda with a sword. And then next to him is a little version of Jiroda with his parents. But he's never met either of his parents. So this is his imagination.
Dad, Mommy! Don't go! I will protect you! I'll protect you!
Jiroda, you got this. I believe in you.
No! I can't do it. I haven't been able to. I can't make my wish come true. I tried for so long. So many years. I was so close. But in the end, they still capture me. It's so dark here. And I'm scared.
Oh, it's an Esling!
Jiroda, we've met many Feywish sprites along the way. Melibo, Kukuda, Pokobo. They spoke of your bravery, your determination. You see, these knightly qualities, you already have them. Darkness can't and won't imprison you. I'll wait for you, Jiroda.
That made me really sad. That is so messed up. Aw. Like, how is he looking? Can you look and see what he... Yeah, he's... Oh my god, that's so sad. Like I said, Infinity Nikki just has its whimsical moments, but then it just has parts like this where it's just super dark. Good gosh. Oh, hello.
You again. This is the price for mocking us. Ha!
Huh? Nikki!
Don't you hurt my friends!
So it's you. You know full well what happens to those who challenge us.
I don't care!
Jiroda! Jiroda!
It's okay to fail or get hurt! Give up? Never! You lose.
That was a fluke. You wait.
Jiroda!
Nikki, I'm sorry.
No, none of that matters. Jiroda, you were amazing.
Really? But when you got here, I was too scared. I couldn't even leave the cavern prison. I was afraid of being captured again.
But when I was in danger, your belief as a Feywish knight beat out your fear. You chose to stand up to them, to help me and face the enemy you fear most. Jiroda, you've become a true knight, like you've always wished to be.
Am I really? Am I a knight now? No need for a knighthood ceremony or fancy medals like in the sacred knight stories?
No need. The reason a knight is because of their inner convictions and unyielding bravery. Knighthood is a state of mind, not just a title.
That's right. Without medals, a knight is still a knight. Then I am the famous Knight Gerota!
Good. So now, we'll count on you to protect everyone, Sir Gerota.
I promise, Nikki. Oh, and did you meet the Wishmaster?
We did. But
the Wishmaster is an imposter!
that's right. It's probably why the paladins go unchecked. I think we need to find Avicenda and uncover the truth.
But since getting back to the Wishing Woods, I haven't seen him at all. Nikki, look there!
What's that? A Paladin's Daily Log. Morning. Attended assembly. Listened to Wishmaster's deeds. Daytime. Training. Note. Perform well and be promoted to the special squad. Assigned special tasks related to the Wishmaster.
Tasks related to the Wishmaster? What's that?
It doesn't say. Oh, there's a circled note. Desperation Orb Warehouse Basement access restricted. Captain Avicenda handling classified matters. Classified matters?
Sounds very classified. Whatever's happening in the Desperation Orb Warehouse must be important.
Gerota, what's the Desperation Orb Warehouse like?
A place no Feywish sprite wants to go. Oh, except the Paladins. Since Desperation Orbs are life-threatening to Feywish sprites, everyone felt that they were too dangerous. So to process and dispose of them, we built the Desperation Orb Warehouse. The warehouse is managed by the Paladins. When the inspection center finds Desperation Orbs, they're sent there.
If they already manage the warehouse, why produce Quick Wish bottles that generate Desperation Orbs? And the Desperation Orbs from the inspection center don't seem like the ones from the Quick Wish bottles. They're different.
They're actually the same. Long ago, we used to mistake Desperation Orbs for Wishing Orbs, because when they're first extracted, they looked identical. Later, the Desperation Syndrome Center discovered Desperation Orbs turn black as they age. Like they're spoiled! Exactly. So, the Quick Wish bottles actually speed up the ripening of Desperation Orbs. But why are they doing this?
There must be some conspiracy behind this. Gerota, let's check out the Desperation Orb Warehouse.
Right! I'll look for the entrance to the basement.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, the music changed, so that's not a good sign. It's about to be some shenanigans. I'm not liking the idea the Desperation Orbs and the Quick Wish bottles are pretty much one of the same, it sounds like, or similarly, so it's giving bad Juju Mugumbo vibes, if you know what I'm saying. Do not approach. Oh. Well. It's given something.
Nikki, here!
Gerota, What's going on?
There are guards. We can't get in. What should we do? Should I use my trick again? No. There are too many paladins. Get noisy, and more will come for sure. Then what?
You? What are you doing?
Avicinda?
Nikki, we agreed our last meeting was our last.
Quick wish bottles? Desperation orbs? A fake wish master? What are you scheming?
Scheming? Ha! So short-sighted. A Fey-wish sprite like you could never understand what we're doing. The Wishing One has been gone too long. We lost our way, fell silent. We exist because of him, but we're alone now, and need a new god.
You! How dare you blaspheme!
A new god shall grant us rebirth. A new god will give us guidance. And the birth of a new god needs a sacrifice.
You're wrong! That's a price we can't pay!
It's not up to you. For Lord Chigda, our new god, no one can stop us!
Sorry, I was fixing something and then immediately battle mode. Jeez, the game is trying to kill me. Huzzah! Oh my goodness. What? There's more? What? Whoa, what are you talking about, game? What do you mean Infinity Nikki actually might get a little challenging? Dang! All right then. Oh, crap. Hit me then.
Your skill is impressive. I underestimated you. But this isn't over. There's still Lord Chigda.
He just said Lord Chigda.
Then, is the real Chigda still alive? But why go through the trouble of using an imposter?
Maybe it's because he can't show himself. So, Avicinda acts on his behalf.
Avicinda's family were devout followers of the Wishing One. It's just... how could a fanatic support a new god?
Maybe the more devout, the harder it is to accept the death of the Wishing One. He believes he exists because of the Wishing One. Without him, nothing has meaning.
But... it shouldn't be like this. Yes, it must be painful to lose a god you devoted your life to, but replacing them with a new one? With sacrifice? That's crazy!
He said the birth of a new god requires sacrifice. But are Quick Wish bottles part of his plan?
What do they need Quick Wish bottles for anyway? We should head to the Desperation Orb warehouse. We can search the basement and find the truth.
Let's go then.
This is really wild of a storyline. What are you talking about, Infinity Nikki? Girlfriend, what do you mean? I don't even know how to feel right now.
Giovanni?
What are you talking about? He's here.
Cinder's secret mission was you? Giovanni?
Aren't you working with the Paladins? Why are you like this?
Just a temporary alliance. After discovering my betrayal, they imprisoned me here. They also took the Orium vase.
So, that's why Avacinda was after you in the abandoned district. Why did you betray them? And why lead us to the Wishing Woods?
Because there's something only you can do.
Me?
Yes, the Orium vase chose you. It believes you will have the power to defeat Chigda, the Wishmaster.
But why Nikki? And did you use the Orium vase?
I used it, but that was in the other timeline.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Back it up. Back it up. What you talking about other timelines for, Giovanni? What do you mean? See, this is what I think people were talking about when they say Infinity Nikki's storyline is super dark and just... There's just a lot in it. And that's a whole lot. What are you talking about? There's another timeline. What do you mean? With your grown self. Oh my goodness. I'm crying. The plot thickens.
The other timeline.
It started with Chigda, the Wishmaster. The Wishmaster, Chigda, became something more than a mortal soul. To cure his desperation syndrome, he made a deal with the dark. It bound him together with the vines, granting eternal life. In return, he will continue to feed on desperation, becoming the desperate vines. But he wasn't satisfied and hatched an insane plan. Replicating the Orium vase, taking the divine power for himself. For this, he destroyed my life, my wishes. He left me only despair and hatred. For revenge, I pretended to submit. I helped them spread the Quick Wish bottles, found a chance to escape the Wishing Woods, and retrieved the Orium vase. I made a wish. I wished for the power to defeat Chigda. Then, time reversed. I was sent back to the moment I first started spreading Quick Wish bottles. But it seemed the Wishing One was mocking me. Nothing really changed. Until you appeared. A girl from another world who's never appeared in another timeline. Asking me for wish flight paper.
So you, as the prophet, led us to uncover the truth. But why? Why set obstacles for us?
Yeah! And was it you? Did you lead that bully to us?
Yes, I did. I had to be sure that you were chosen by the Orium vase and had the power to defeat Chigda. You did not disappoint.
But you put us in a lot of danger. One mistake, and we'd be done for.
If you couldn't pass those tests, there'd be no way you could defeat Chigda.
Giovanni, your plan to lead us to the truth really wasn't the nicest.
Sorry. It was the only way I saw. I had to be careful. Chigda's power is growing stronger. He's hiding in the canopy of the Grand Milliwish tree, devouring desperation orbs. It's why vine mutations are rampant, and even the Erosit have stopped blooming.
If this keeps up, the baby Feywish sprites won't awaken.
Yes, without the ceremony, there's no sparkling pollen. Only when it is filled with sparkling pollen can the Orium base fulfill wishes. Sadly, when time reverses, the pollen doesn't follow. Divine items transcend fate.
So that's why you were so surprised to find the Orium vase empty.
Wait, I've got an idea. If a blooming Orosa can awaken the coma victims, then an outfit made from it should have that power too.
And then, we could use it to wake everyone. But first, we need to defeat Chigda and put the desperate vines right again.
Is it possible? Can we really defeat Chigda alone?
Perhaps you can learn from the past.
The past?
I learned everything about the desperate vines. During the Age of Divinity, the Sacred Knight managed to defeat them, returning them to normal. How she managed to do it is unclear. But the Swordsmith ruins, where she was last seen, may hold the answers. Unfortunately, the ruins have been sealed, and the key is long lost.
The Swordsmith ruins? Uncle Barbarata once gave me a box, and it had a key inside. It was a gift from the Sacred Knight to my grandfather. He was worried that the Paladins might take it, so he told me to hide it. I stashed it near the Swordsmith ruins.
That's it. That must be the key.
I'll go get it now.
Your luck is remarkable.
We're always lucky, but that's got nothing to do with the Orium vase.
Maybe. However, your fate's wild cards. Maybe some unusual luck is part of it. Hopefully, it's all good luck.
This is...
A paper crane from the Wish Flight paper. Unlike the first time. This time, it's my best wishes.
Thank you. I think I've got the inspiration for another piece of the Wishful Orosa outfit.
What do you mean? I can't explain Infinity Nikki to the average person. That was some Kingdom Hearts level storytelling. What do you mean we've been playing 5D chess and Giovanni actually wasn't a bad guy? He's just testing us because he wanted to save the world in terms of him going back in time. That is actually wild. I'm here for it though.
I feel a poem coming on. I'll call it Nikki, Momo, and the Sunset.
But I definitely can tell we're getting towards endgame content in regards to at least where this part of the story is. So that's something. Okay, sorry, wrong thing. We did jump a bunch of S-links, so that did help us in regards to filling some of our dailies. Okay, well that was something. Whoops. And we can teleport back. Let me see what he says though. Okay, I do have to say I stand Giovanni now. I need merch immediately of this man. I thought he was evil, but turns out he was just actually testing us. So he pulled a Riku. Y'all know how I feel about characters like this. Dang it. It's given, what's her face from Madoka? It's just giving a lot of different vibes. So I'm like, I'm not mad. Interesting. That's all I'm going to say. It's just interesting that the story went this way.
Got it! Nikki, let's head to the Swordsmith Ruins Gate.
Is there something close? No, there is not. Okay, we're just gonna have to go the long way. And then I think what I'll do is I'll probably keep going for another 15 minutes and then we'll wrap it up. But like I said, I think we're really, really close. What is yelling at me? Oh! I was like, duh, what's yelling at me? Oh, oops. Excuse me. But I think we'll wrap up in like 15 minutes. And I do believe not this stream, but probably the next one we will be done with Infinity Nikki. I think we're really, really close to endgame. It really does feel like we're at the climax of this part of the story anyway. I don't think Infinity Nikki's story is done in the sense of there won't be new more added to the storyline itself, but what's current, I think we're pretty close to it. Oh. Hello. How you doing? I will say I will have to do the style battle, so I think I might actually stream some of them if I don't do more of them off stream, because you do actually have to beat all the sovereigns before you can get the Ritual Arosa outfit that is required to get to the interlude of the game, I do believe. So either way, whether I stream them or not, if you do play Infinity Nikki, you do need to actually do those parts as well. You have to do all the style battles, which they're not hard. It's just there's ways to do it that don't make them horrible. Just upgrading your clothes and stuff a lot and everything. Oh wait, this looks like the area we went to when we first came into the game. Maybe I'm tripping though. But it feels like it anyway.
This is the gate to the Swordsmith Ruins. I used to wonder if this gate would unlock with my grandfather's key. But then I thought I should wait until I become a Feywish knight before trying my luck.
Dorota, you're a real knight now.
Yes, Nikki. This time, let me, Knight Dorota, lead the way. Let's go!
I wonder if this is another level that we can platform. I figured as much.
To those who find themselves in the shadow of despair.
What was that?
Nikki, that statue is talking to us.
I, Huerta, the sacred knight, impart these words unto those who may face the perils in days yet to come. To halt the spread of despair, the vines, a dark creation nourished by desperation, must be severed. Yet only the bearer of the sacred knight's armor, who wields the sacred blade, can accomplish this task. Should the desperate vines once more run rampant, though my body may have perished, let not the light of hope diminish. My eternal spirit awaits at the end of this path, to bestow upon the chosen one the power of the sacred night and the burdens that come with it.
Sounds like Huerta left this message, fearing the desperate vines would return for someone in the future.
And then, her fear came true.
Luckily, she left behind the sacred knight's power. She said look for her at the end of the ruins. Let's go find her.
So this rightfully confirms that Infinity Nikki is an isekai. As people, I think I've jokingly said. But it's an isekai, so. I forgot how to block those. How do I get past this? Did we just speed run it? Shoot. I'm so confused. I don't get how to get past this part. Alright. I do not remember how to get past this part. Excuse me. I don't remember how to get past this part. Sorry, I was saying that wrong. I felt like. Okay. They recommend shrinking down for this area, which kind of makes sense because I need to dodge. Considering on my theory about swords, this is a cool area. Okay. I don't think I want to go down there. No, I don't. Oh, my bad. I ain't need to die like that. Oh. And I'm definitely gonna be looking for this to put on my tunes to listen to, because what do you mean the music is epic as heck? Again, Infinity Nikki always surprises me in a very, like, unexpected way, which I don't hate at all. It's just really well done the way it surprises me and the way the game is developed. Like, 10 out of 10, good, just really good. I have no idea where I'm going, but we're gonna go this way. There's 2 of these? Okay. I'm assuming this area you just primarily want to stay as Momo? And then I'll have to come back here because I'm probably missing a bunch of things. Let's go on this other side, actually. All right. Ah! Don't do what I just did and get yourself KO'd in the water. Don't do all that. Okay. Ventilation tunnel. Oh, I would do that immediately. Oh! Oh! Oh, no. Can I speed run with Momo? Yes, you can. Okay. So you probably want to do this. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Ah, no. No. Ah! Shoot. It's shift. All right. Great. How do you get over there? Oh. Only lasts for a second. I was about to say, like, how do you fix that? The Whimstar is over there. How do I get over there? If there is one. Shoot. Of course it'd be in a corner up there that I apparently am trying to figure out how the heck to reach. Shoot. There we go. I was like, send help. Otherwise, send help. Where's this other one? Okay. The desperate vines have been dealt with. You are now fully completed the Wishing One's task. I suppose it's time for us to say our goodbyes, for I know you have many important matters to attend to. I always found it ridiculous how humans rather write down their important words in long-winded sentences instead of conveying them face to face. But now, a moment before my final farewell, I have come to understand their reasoning, if only a little. Perhaps writing farewell letters is another way for humans to convey their wishes, not to the Wishing One, but to the recipient. And that wish is remember me and take care. I can still recall our first night fight together. A dark apostle nearly tore your right arm off, yet your grip on your sword never loosened. Your silhouette in the golden sunlight remained vividly etched in my mind. When we worried about your injury, you were already thinking about forging a blade from a monster's horn. We're calling you silly for that, but I suppose I should tell you how I really felt. My first thought was, what a gallant knight. Having someone like you as a comrade brought me immense joy, even when I was given a beating by the dark. Of course, we eventually pushed them back with the new sword we forged. I rarely expressed my gratitude to you, but I remember every moment when I thought, I'm glad you were here. There was that time we found ourselves surrounded with no wishing orbs sustain us. You made a wish back then, remember? You said, I hope there will always be delicious wishes in this world for Kuroda, and the Fey wish sprites to protect if we eliminated the dark. That was the most profound and delicious wishes I ever had, and it motivated me to break out of the encirclement with you. I believe it's time for you to venture out and ensure that the more delicious wishes fulfill the world while I remain here, running for the position of Wishmaster to safeguard those wishes. It's the only way I can honor your wish back then. Oh my goodness. Wow. The lore. The lore. Excuse me. Oh, what's back there? Oh, maybe it is. It probably is. I'm just missing it. It's right in front of my freaking face. Type of vibes. Maybe? Oh no, not this thing again. Oh. Probably missed a fate of... Oh, I've missed plenty of Whimstars. I'm definitely going to have to come back in this area. Because we be clumsy, but that's okay. We're gonna get small again. Sorry for like the slightly drawing perspective as I kind of figure out where to go. Ooh, dang. Okay. I think if I have this down correctly, I'm gonna do this. Then Momo will float over here. And then wanna like get over here. Ah! Shoot! There we go. I was like, there's gotta be a way to get over there. There's a wind that blows you over here. And then this one goes up. And then there's one over here. Oh my gosh, there's like so many currents. Oh! That's a long fall, bro. At least the game's nice about it. Okay. So this is about catching these wind currents. Okay, because I see one here. Oh! And of course my perspective is going to be really, really bad to try to get this. Oh my gosh. I'm about to say, like, help me out here. No. Oh, no. Nope, we've messed that up again. Actually, shoot. Dang it. I see there's like one closer, so I should have caught that one. This is an interesting puzzle, though. Then there's one here. Oh, shoot. There's a wind current, I want to say right here. Oh, shoot. And of course I would press it a little too far and mess myself up. This isn't horrible, it's just a little intricate, which I can appreciate this. Games get a little bit more challenging. There we go. There's that Whimstar, but it's fine. If we leave it, I'm not going to be upset. I will live. I will live another day.
That's the sacred knight, Huerta.
She fought alongside my grandfather. But she's trapped by the vines. Nikki, we need to purify them first.
Is it you who awakened me?
Sacred Knight Huerta!
Those who have traversed the ages, and the descendant of Kuroda, who fought by my side.
You remember my grandfather?
Indeed, a Feywish sprite of such skill and fiery temperament is not easily forgotten. You're here about desperate vines?
We are. The current Wishmaster made a dark pact. It caused the vines to spread, and it's hurt so many Feywish sprites.
Those vile things. They'll take any opportunity to destroy and cause havoc. Behold the Sacred Knight's outfit sketch. To make it, you'll need a special material called silk rosite.
I don't think I've ever heard of this material.
Really? Silk rosite was a rare material, but coveted in the Wishing Woods, back in my time. Though perhaps there's none left now. I possess a modest quantity of silk rosite, yet it is far from ample enough to forge a complete outfit.
What should we do?
I have an idea.
What is it?
We don't have enough silk rosite to make a full outfit, but maybe we can make a mini version of it. In other words, a Feywish Knight's outfit.
Yes! A size that fits perfectly on Geroda!
Agreed. The descendant of Kuroda deserves a knight's outfit worthy of his lineage. You're different from him, but in you, I see the same integrity, faith, and courage.
Thank you. Geroda, will you wear the Feywish Knight outfit and fight the desperate vines with us?
I accept!
Go forth, brave knight.
Let's go, Nikki!
I'm sorry, that was adorable as heck. What do you mean Geroda's got this cute little outfit on? Alright. I think with this, we're going to call it because I think this is the big boss fight, which I've heard is a nightmare to fight. But I think this will be a good stopping place because I think we're getting close to like the final boss before we get towards the end of the game. Or at least for the content where it is right now. Yes, I'm going to gotcha one more time because I have to. I got to. I will do it. I didn't mean to skip it because I said I would watch it every time. So my apologies. But look at that. We got the last thing we needed for this outfit. Well, look at that. But yeah, the showdown with the boss is, I do believe, the last major battle before we have to do, what's it called? I think it's the major boss fight before we get towards the Wish for a Rosa outfit. Which I heard it was hard. Just give me 1 second to look into it. And then we'll go to the chat screen for a bit, and then I'll send y'all off to other folks to watch. Yeah, Chigda is the final boss of Infinity Nikki, at least in terms of the story so far. So we're getting towards endgame now. And then once we get to that, we'll go to the Blooming of Rosa, which is the main storyline. So next Infinity Nikki stream, we will probably finish the main story. But for now, we're going to call it for stream right now. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. Go to the chat screen, and then we're going to log out here. I will say Infinity Nikki's story, as always, is really, really good. I'm always shocked about the way the story kind of moves forward. Granted, everything kind of came together very quickly, but I think it's because they, had 8 chapters and they're going to build on it in terms of the magical outfits. So I think the aspects with Giovanni and everything was super cool to see. So I'll have more commentary maybe next time as we get closer to the end of the story, but I'm still processing it. But it was really well done, so I'm excited. I really appreciate Infinity Nikki. It's still one of my favorite games, sincerely. But okay. In terms of who I can send you off to, again, sorry that the shenanigans are abound where we couldn't multi-stream today, but I can send you off to some folks that you can go watch in the interim. Let's see. So some recommendations I have is Sad Likes, who's a mutual, is currently streaming right now. They are doing just chatting at the moment. There is also Daphne, who I've mentioned before. I do appreciate the creativity that Daphne brings to the space. She's currently playing Marvel Rivals. And then last but not least, I'm going to recommend Skip, who is currently playing Pokemon Rogue. So those are your options over on Twitch, either watching Satlights, I use they, them pronouns for some just chatting. Daphne, if you want to see some Marvel Rivals, or Skip for Poke Rogue. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining me tonight, despite the shenanigans in terms of things. Whether you choose to go watch some other folks to hang out and have some fun this lovely Valentine's Day Friday evening, or whether you just wanted to scamper away for a little bit in terms of shenanigans and just decompress, as I've been streaming for about 3 hours. That's all goody in a hoodie for me. But I hope folks enjoyed seeing some books and hearing me guy about Infinity Nikki as we get closer to the end of the game in terms of where we're at. I will say tomorrow I will be around, specifically I'll say Honey Maru, or Honey is currently, she's getting ready to actually celebrate her her anniversary stream tomorrow, so I'll be kicking it over there to hang out, which is why I rearranged my schedule, because I don't want to miss people's things. For example, shout out to Jinx and Sigma. I know they were streaming today for Valentine's Day, so I gotta go check out the VOD. But I try not to miss people's shenanigans as much as I can, and if I can't be there, I always watch the VOD or try to like get caught up. So I will be helping out Honey, because I'm a mod over there to support friends and mutuals. So if you want to go check out Honey tomorrow around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in terms of the Streamiversary to support Honey, please feel free to do so. But I'll be hanging out over there, and then we'll be back on Sunday with Unicorn Overlord. So that's what the plans are this weekend. But again, I'll drop my schedule as always, and if anything happens, I'll update things. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for joining me. Again, please go check out these other streamers. If not, I will see you on a future stream somewhere on the internet or on Discord or anything else like that. But alrighty, I'm going to scamper. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you later. And again, take care, stay safe, and again, don't lick doorknobs. But yes, you know this. All right, take care. Bye-bye.